live. Okay, so I got to open it up in YouTube first, then I got to start it. Like that. There we go. All right, that's how it's done. That's how it's done. So, welcome, YouTube. We're here. We're dual streaming. So, let me just pop this out. I've got 2 chats I can work with, and then I can go fly. Taking care of the stream first before we go fly. And then we can answer questions and talk about stuff.
Yes, YouTube is live.
Beautiful. There's chat right there. So I'm going to say an official welcome to the YouTube crowd as they start to gather in, because they weren't actually running. Never mind, you found it, Paul. Okay. How do we switch the server? Yeah, so these are things that, you know, it's something I guess I should be showing too, but look at Andrew flying. This is, now Andrew's on 2024. I'm on 2024, and right now he's flying around the area where we're leaving, you guys. So that's the best thing to do right now, is take a look. There's a dam, there's water, there's everything happening right there. And talk about fun. I'm also noticing on my screen, we've got ourselves some dust effects here coming off the Draco. Look at that. And I was going to fly the Draco, you guys, but I flew that the other day, so I'm trying to use a few of them each time, different ones each time. So Aaron says in the the C400, he's not getting it on the G1000. See, the things that we're finding out, you guys. The things we're finding out. Concurrent viewers, 1.34. What? 1.34. There's the other thing I'll do. I'll make sure my YouTube stream does not have monetization. That way they probably can't strike me. You loaded it through your PMS GTN 750. Oh, I see. I have to figure that one out too, right? Ellie's an FS20, and some are flying in her area in the UK. And Ray says, when I try to enter destination and departure in the plane, it does nothing. So I can see that playing with the tablet. Here we got more interesting screens than mine. I can see that playing with the tablet and getting that set up is an important part. That maybe that's what we'll do Tuesday instead of. I wanted to start with crosswind landings now that we have some more accurate wind, but and takeoffs and whatever. But maybe we won't. Maybe we'll just stick with figuring out 2024. Hello all. How you doing? I'm getting huge hangs when loading at flight plan. Wow. What? What's with that? Yeah, on both 2020 and 2024, we're on Southeast Asia server, you guys. And you do that in your settings. And we'll just go here to settings. And we'll go to online. And in there, you can pick your server right there. As I show you all that, I was on the wrong screen. So here, I have video feeds from Ace, from Andrew, and from Noiseboy Mike. And not Dr. No Thumb, not yet. All right, so Southeast Asia is what we're at. So if you go into general, online, and your multiplayer servers, pick Southeast Asia, you guys. Don't leave it as automatic. You won't see us. Make sure it also says multiplayer here and show multiplayer in close proximity. That's the screen you want right there. As a matter of fact, I'll take a picture of that because someone's going to come on later and ask the same question. So let me just come over here and I'll take a picture of that also. Give it back. And we are at the Grand Canyon. We are going to fly the whole darn thing. Missing the show close proximity. Ah, see? There we go. Hello, Ross from Andresan, Scotland. Hey, wow, cool. I didn't say it right, but cool that you're here. And good to be with us. Yeah, good to have you join us. Bring your friends and tell everyone we're live. And I'm flying a clunker, but it's probably a new clunker, right, Andrew? It's a new clunker. I call it the clunker, you guys. We flew this the first year of 2020, the first year of the sim, 2020 sim, and we had Andrew and I were like flying around low and slow, and it's quite the plane. It's actually a lot of fun. But let's get going with that, right? And for those of you who haven't joined us yet, we'll see as we go along. You can see in the distance there's a lot of people there. Let's get this thing in the air and control space, maybe? No.
What?
Shift space. I don't know. Control space. Yeah, I moved forward when I first started. Now I can't move at all. Okay. All right. And I got a passenger. Huh. Someone's ready.
Yeah, I've got somebody too, but I could have sworn I turned Copilot off.
Right. Still not seeing anyone, Paul. Huh. And you and I are in the same city. You know what I mean? So, hey, some new viewers in YouTube. How you doing? Come on, join us. Let's go. FYI, this is a cool feature added for MSF 24 Flight Planner. Nice, Mike. Flight planning and charts. Access to flight planning and charts requires an Xbox account linked to a Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Way cool.
Yeah, the link that Mike just put in is actually a website version of the one that's in the sim.
Cool. All I want to do is get flying. So let me figure that out. Andrew, why can't it move? Let's see. That's forward, and that's forward. I got full power going. And it's got to be a brakes thing. Maybe this lever here. What lever is that? Maybe I got chocks on. I don't know. No, there's no chocks. And Wraith, is that you beside me? Hey, Krabby One's in the air. Yeah, it doesn't look like I got chocks on. What are you?
Take your brakes off.
Yeah, I guess so. What was it? Control period. Well, finally worked.
There's if you look down between the seats, that's where your brake lever is.
Right, there's two levers, yeah. Red or black? Pick one.
The black. Well, no, they're right on the next to the passenger seat. If it's down, the brakes are off.
So the red one?
Oh no, not in between. That's a fuel dump.
Uh-huh. Okay.
The two T handles. One's the fuel valve, and the other is fuel dump. The parking brake is next to like where your throttle and your mixture and stuff is.
Yeah.
Right on the right hand side of that.
Right here.
It's a black handle with the silver button.
Yeah.
Knob.
Well, that's control space. Yeah, control space.
That's your.
Yeah. Okay. So control space is still the same thing, but it's not moving at all. Isn't that something? Hey. Anyone else got this thing flying? How'd you get flying? Should make it easier for Xbox flyers too, I'd imagine. Yeah, Mike, I think that's very important for Xbox flyers, yeah. Yeah, Wraith, that the shortcut works too, so, you know, brakes are off. Not moving. I did move forward and then stopped. Maybe my toe brakes are like activated or something, right? 5 minutes trying to get my gear up. Yeah, and I chuckled. It's a nervous chuckle, you guys, but you know, we will work on that because all my mappings work. Let me just move over to see how Ace is doing in 2020. You guys, if anybody's flying 2020, come and join Ace. This is Ace's Spade screen, and he's changed his label to show that it says 2020 on it, and he's flying the same place we are in 2024. And there are plenty of people who were fed up with the launch and just went back to 2020. So come join us on 2020, same server, Southeast Asia, and grab the flight plan from our chat. Just exclamation point flight plan. It probably that won't work. That won't work in YouTube. You have to put exclamation point flight plan in our Twitch chat. So it's be hard for those watching on YouTube to get a link. So let me just try this. Then I'll get finally flying here. Flight plan. And then I'll copy that link and I'll send it to YouTube. So hold on. Copy link address. Using controller, press RB and down on the D-pad. All right, that's good to know for those who are using it. So the right bumper, not the trigger, the bumper. And on the D-pad, it said press down. Right, that's your brakes. I think that's also temporary brakes, like toe brakes, right? Purchased 2024, but absolutely staying on 2020, likely for months or a year. Yeah, and Jay, it sounds like you're fed up like a lot of people. If you had bad experience trying to get this thing going, which thousands of us did on Tuesday, then I don't blame anybody for staying with 2020. So you see on here, you see Ace is flying 2020. It looks like he doesn't have anybody in multiplayer with him right now. So come join him if you're in 2020, and then you'll see more of them pop up on your screen. I'm surprised you don't see any tags. I'm sure there must be some with you.
I don't see a single tag.
Yeah. And for those of you on YouTube, say hello to Ace, co-host over here to my left. And he's flying 2020. And then when Andrew speaks, he'll show up. Also, he's flying 2024 with me.
Good morning, everybody.
Ace is flying the Draco, yeah. I was too. The
No,
other day, so.
I'm flying the Smog.
Right, because you're in 2020.
It's
yeah,
the 2020.
Sorry.
It's
Yeah.
the 2020 version.
Yes, right. Yeah.
It is literally. It is literally the same plane, isn't it? Other than the fact that the real Draco doesn't exist in real life anymore, but
Well, yeah,
or it's based.
still-
It's the
still
Smog is based
it.
on it anyway.
It is inspired by it, yeah.
Yeah.
And I haven't tried to put it into 2024 to see if that works yet.
Well, why would you?
There's
There's a Draco in as default. Yeah,
there is, but it wouldn't have my livery.
Well, no, that's an argument that people are having too.
What's that? What's that?
Doing mods and liveries to base planes because there's no download to them. But Jeff actually posted something on the WB Sim. Was it WB Sim or was it the JPL 152 for Discord this morning? That sounds like there was supposed to be something put in so that people could do stuff, and it didn't get, and the team script didn't put it in.
So we're just waiting for updates.
Yeah.
Does anybody know if any of those updates that recently went out, hot fixes for 2024, fixed the Toby?
I'm not sure if the hot fix did that they put out last night. Toby did actually put out a workaround for it.
They did, yes.
Not having it, I didn't bother to go look at it, but so I think you can actually do stuff with it now without it immediately crashing as soon as you're trying to calibrate it outside of it through its own software. But I actually saw somebody the other day was using the Toby and they were using OpenTrack to hook it up to the sim as a temporary until.
I guess I'll have to do the workaround. I was kind of hoping because I was too busy to do much in the.
Yeah, I think.
Anyway, I was hoping by the time the weekend got here, maybe that would already be sorted. But I guess I'll have to.
I think the patch they put out last night, the hot fix they put out last night, I think was more aimed at some issues with Xbox because they seem to be having a lot more problems than PC does at the moment.
Twiz, yeah. Twiz, you're saying it's pink checkered. Boy, we've seen that before. The whole pink checkered thing, yeah.
Yeah, pink checkered, yeah, Twiz. That's if it means the same thing in 4 as it did in 2020, that's texture issues. It's either missing one or.
Well, I can say with certainty the scenery in 24 looks a lot better than 2020, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's the worst part is I wish we knew where exactly you were so we could be around the same area so we could actually compare, but we can't see you and you can't see us, so there's no saying where everybody is.
Yeah, we should have tried to get Join FS up and going or something. But
yeah.
Yeah, that would be the answer. Yeah, but not everybody can.
Except I don't know if
Xbox
that works in
flyers can.
24 yet.
I have no idea.
I haven't looked, so I have it on my machine, but I haven't looked. Hermit says he's right. I guess you're right in front of Hermit something.
Who is?
I'm assuming Ace.
I see him. I see a screen name.
He's not by himself anymore.
Not alone.
And there's two of you in 2020. Strap says, "Do you have the latest version?" Yeah. So Strap's troubleshooting here. Paul, I just did a fresh start with a little nav map, and I pulled my flight plan in. It worked fine. So I'm not sure why you're having trouble pulling that in.
Well, you know what? I actually did it on the DFB on the world map page. I didn't do it in the plane, and it worked just fine. When I loaded in the flight plan was on my 530.
Hey, Fly and Dive, have you done any testing or verification of smog in 2024 yet? I don't want to officially say one way or the other if it should work or not, or if there's any intentions.
Did you say intentions? No, I'm just kidding. Couple issues for you. Mouse look goes berserk when I try to use it. Wow. The Draco, Panaman says Draco in 2024 has problems with VNAV syncing 650 to GA. Wow. And no 750 for it yet.
Yeah, Fly and Dive. Jeff from used to be Skipper Jeff. He posted something in the WBSim 152 Discord I can't remember, it was this morning or last night, that he had a message from one of the devs at Asobo, and they were aware of the issue with the virtual flight system. There was something that was supposed to be gone out with the release that didn't. And I think that was the problem. So it's a matter of finding a way to get that shoved back in where it's supposed to be, sounds like. So the smog does work, but there's an issue with the glass screen, the avionics being very dim. Apparently Asobo knows about it, and they are working. Apparently it's not just strictly the smog, it's
Cool.
glass cockpits and generally, I guess, or at least the G1000s or whatever, GTN stuff.
And you guys, I'll be the most critical here, I'll tell you. That should have been tested with us as reviewers. Those of us who've been reviewers, we were at Grand Canyon, we were at Tech Alpha, we were told we would get the sim to review it and to test it. We were given it the same day as everybody, the same day as the big launch day. So we didn't get to test this ahead of time. So whoever was doing the testing, pathetic. Pathetic, you guys. I'm just going to say, I'm an IT person, I can be critical. That was pathetic. So that's where we are, and a lot of people, I think Steam lost 45% of their users. They would just wanted a refund. Can you imagine?
Yep.
We're talking hundreds of thousands of people said that's it. Don't blame them. Don't blame them at all.
The unfortunate part is for those people, I mean, they're getting their money back theoretically, and they're going to have to buy it again later when all the bugs and stuff are fixed. But on the positive side, that's removed a bunch of people that were stressing the servers, so it make it easier for other people to get.
One way to look at it.
Yeah, it is one way to look at it, but it's not a nice.
I mean, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that they have that many people got that annoyed and decided to leave. But
right.
P Delta there had all the servers to himself for a little while.
No kidding, right? No kidding.
We all couldn't get on because he was on.
Yep.
But yeah, that was a mess. And Steam has, their own policy. You can only request a refund if you have less than 2 hours of
right. Yeah,
game.
and the worst part is a lot of people were 8, 9, 10, 12 hours and not even getting the silly thing even loaded.
But it still counted. That's the that was.
I think they were at. I saw somebody was saying on Thursday that there was something was being set up, making arrangements because of the issues that were outside of the purchaser's way of doing it. So I think they may have actually they may have temporarily suspended that for 2024 so that people can actually get their refunds.
Yeah, I think the important thing is to be realistic about what is happening, and they called those previews, you know, the tech alpha, dev alpha. So what comes after alpha? We're now in beta. We paid full price for beta access to 2024.
Yeah, that's good. That's the perfect way to look at it. We paid full price for beta access, so we're all testers now.
Well, yeah, you know, the way you're looking at the other way of looking at that is a lot of people have said the same thing about 2020.
And you know what? That first,
Oh, that was
I'd say all the way up to about Sim Update 5, was pretty much
useless.
the beta.
Yeah.
I had some great scenery here yesterday when I flew it. Now I'm looking at it, it's like I'm not quite sure what I'm looking at. It looks good right below me, but look at the river. There's a dam over here too, you guys, and we're going to be following that. I see crabbies up
Where'd
there.
everybody go?
Yeah, actually, I'm just seeing crabby only.
I had Krabby and Charlie and whatnot were ahead of me, and I don't see anybody now. Oh, nope, there's Kiwi Craig down on the river in the 404 Titan.
We could make a song about that. Down by the river.
So I see somebody. I got at least one person in the sim, but I don't see anybody behind me anymore. Of course, maybe everybody's down in the canyon, so they're too low for.
Oh, that could
me,
be
so,
too, right? Yeah.
So I can't see tags through the hills.
I only see.
Because, like I say, Kiwi Craig just flew by underneath me in the 404.
Yeah, Meyer Flyer says, I think if you get too far, you can't see any folks. But don't forget to do the check mark that says show planes in close proximity too.
Yeah,
you guys, so that'll help too, right?
I did see something. I read something this morning that instead of seeing, you know, how 2020 is, you see tags from hundreds and hundreds of miles. Apparently, they've gone the other way. Now, if anybody's farther away than, I think it was 10 miles, you won't see their tag.
MP Stack says we're here. Okay.
But I have to say I'm awed at the scenery.
Odd, not ODD, but AWED.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is just spectacular.
And then we'll just come over to here too. Yeah, that looks great, Andrew. You could just get that suit out of your seat there.
Well, I don't know
You can
where she
see
came
more.
from because I turned my co-pilot off yesterday, and there shouldn't be anybody there.
Here's the Grand Canyon Dam, you guys, right there. Look at that bridge.
Yeah, the water on the other side, on the, like from your angle, from the back and to the right, the water up behind you is just terrible.
Yeah, I noticed that. That wasn't looking so good, but it was looking better after the dam, yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say you go over and cross the dam, and downriver everything's fine, but upriver it looked horrible.
So this is one of the reasons we're doing both today, you guys. So we get to see on Ace's screen what it looks like on his screen, and then we get to see what it looks like on our screen. And this is something that I noticed when I did the preview of the Grand Canyon back when we were testing as previewers. A lot of people said to me after my first video I produced, they said to me, Grand Canyon looks better in 2020. So they were seeing deeper colors. Like, take a look at Ace's screen right now. He's got the sun hitting it. This is like it is in real life. Because of the depth of the canyon, the sun only hits part of it, right? You see the upper part there is bright. Now you look over on my screen, the upper part of it is lit up. The sun is hitting it, but it's not that deep yellow that it is in real life. That it really is a deep yellow, orangey kind of. There's a pink layer in there too, of sediment. So the colors are not as deep or as saturated as they are in 2020. But I found in real life, it's more like what you're seeing on Ace's screen, to be honest, right? it's more that deeper orange. So I don't know if we've got to change something in our sim, but the detail's higher, the resolution is higher, but the colors aren't as saturated as they were before. Fierce Wolf, I see you. I see Appetizer. That's it.
I see Charlie again.
I got 3 of you. And this first part...
Wing Wrens, will they fix 2024? They're working on things even as you speak, even as we speak.
Oh, yeah.
They've got no choice. They have to.
Yes. They literally have millions of customers. They got to do something about it. They certainly are taking the grief on this, and I expect some people will lose their position at least. Yeah. Circle back around, Meyer Flyer says. Okay. I mentioned that back during the tech alpha that when you guys went to Grand Canyon, tested the sim, looked very white and washed out. So that was you. Yeah. Thanks, Panaman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could be depending on the time of day. I mean, look at it. It is gorgeous what I'm seeing. I mean, look at the detail, but it isn't as deep a color as you see on now. You know, Ace does tweak his graphics to make things look better, so maybe that's it. But it certainly looks good on Ace's screen.
Well, I mean, you can also tune your color settings and stuff in NVIDIA control panel, or you can run NVIDIA filters that might help it too.
Yeah, I'm not going to play like that because, you know, you're in different parts of the world, different times of day. I'm not going to mess around with my graphics. I want it to show up the way it's supposed to by default, because every one of our Saturday streams, we're somewhere else in the world. We tweak it for, you know, we're going to tweak colors to make them look best where we are right now. And then what happens when we go to, say, Switzerland and everything's different? Rubius, you're with me. Fierce Wolf is ahead of me. We're actually, for us, you guys, we're not following the flight plan to the letter. We're actually following the canyon's turns right now just to see what it looks like. But again, you can see up here, this looks great. The detail's great. If we didn't have a comparison, then we'd be very happy with what we're seeing here in 24. But you look over at Ace's screen, and this is one of the reasons we're doing this, you guys. Look to his right, and you'll see he's got that deeper color of the edge, just like Panoman said, you guys. That's more like what it looks like in real life. We were there. We flew it in real life. We were in a helicopter in the canyon during that event. And it's got that deeper color against that top of the cliff. So, you know, like Ace said, I could go in and play with my graphics, but it shouldn't have to. You should be able to see it the way it's supposed to be. So maybe it's time of day. Maybe I got to...
Your rock details and stuff are just miles better, though.
Yeah.
Right. When you look at it like this.
Yeah, like there's you look at Aces and there's not as much texture comparatively.
I mean, look at this. It really is. The detail here is great. Although I need an upgrade on my graphics card. I think I tweaked. I was showing you guys on Tuesday. I think I went in and I turned my graphics setting. Its default setting it found was very high, but I turned it to ultra, and I did actually get a tiny bit of jitter when I was flying. So obviously the sim knew that I don't have the best graphics card. Yeah. Blind Dive, yeah, good comparison in the stream. Yeah, this is one of the reasons we're doing it, for accommodating those who are still in 2020 and those of us who moved to 24. We wanted to do both. I was going to try flying both, but Ace said he would do 2020 for us, and then that made it easier for me. I didn't have to run 2 sims, one with 2020 and one with 24, and try to fly both, right? So that was nice that he did that, you guys, and it gave us a good chance to compare the two as we go along. And Andrew suggested we fly the Optica now. We haven't flown it since back in 2020 early days. But even now I can crank my yoke far left, and it takes so long to go there. After we were so used to doing aerobatics where you just snap the stick and do rolls, right? And here we are in the Optica, low and slow. It's perfect for the canyon, actually. And there I am heading into the sun. Look out! And Fierce Wolf
is not the sportiest plane in the world.
Not the sportiest, but it is a good sightseer, and they use it for research. They do use it for passengers. This one actually says police on it. I didn't realize that's the one I picked, but here comes the police in the Optica. He's not going to catch anybody anytime soon. Can you imagine? Turn on the siren. Wee-doo, wee-doo. Can you step on it? I am. I got the i5 6500 and a GTX 1050 Ti and was worried I wouldn't be able to play. But to your surprise, the game looks and runs well. Yeah, Twiz, it's same with Andrew. He's got a 1660 card right now. And look at this. It's absolutely gorgeous. And
50 Ti. Wow.
yeah. Wow. Yeah.
I would not have expected that to work.
Southeast Asia, yep, that's it. Icefire, yep.
If you said 1080 Ti, that wouldn't have surprised me. That there are streamers out there that are still using the 1080 Ti.
Well, Panelman's using a 1080 Ti.
Yeah.
That's still a good card.
It was that card for
1050
whatever.
Ti was a very low end card in that generation.
Well, for the 1000 series, that's the top end. But for whatever they did with the 1080, it works better than some of the middle to high end 2000 series. So I don't know what was done with the 1080, at least the Ti version anyway, that seemed to put it like a generation ahead just by itself.
Yeah, that card was a leap over the 1080. I mean, that was up there with the Titan at the time.
Yeah.
Performance for less money.
Yep.
It was a beast of a card. I have one. It's sitting in a box right now. But good card. It was a very good card. Got a lot of good mileage out of it. The thing is, the 1050 Ti was not a high-end graphics solution when it came out. It was like, it's the card you bought if you didn't have integrated graphics and you just wanted the minimum.
Yeah,
that's impressive. If that's playing the sim well, that is impressive.
Kada, how you doing? Welcome. We have both 2020 and we have 2024 running. Right now we're looking at Noiseboy Mike in 24. I'm also running 24. If you see a blank screen without a tag at the top, I don't have a tag on my screen, you guys, but all the rest do. You come over to Ace, who's running 2020. You'll see his tag says MSFS 2020. Noiseboy Mike says MSFS 2020. Andrew and I are both flying 2024. So you don't see an actual tag that says 2024, but Andrew and I are both in the Optica. There he is from the internal view, and there's me from my external view. So we're both flying 2024, and this is we're just comparing as we go along. We're flying through the canyon and coming up onto the deepest part. We're coming up on the southern rim here in the flight plan. And that first airport, Marble Canyon Airport, you might want to do a touch and go there, you guys, at the start. Some of you are way past it already because you stuck to the flight plan. The rest of us were just flying the canyon, like Fierce Wolf below me in the Draco, and a few of you who were here with me. Nebo's with me, Grubius, Appetizer, and Wraith. We're all just flying the canyon, not sticking to an autopilot flight plan. Excellent opportunities below for landing, you guys. You can see the shoals, you can see some gravel areas, sandbars. That would be a real, I think we're going to be doing a lot more of that. Not necessarily Grand Canyon, but in future streams on Saturdays, we will go into areas where we have sandbars and challenges to get in and out. And we'll be taking tail dragger, balloon tire kind of bush planes in there and out there and just see how it goes. So, Charlie, you can't turn off your flight plan assistance brackets. Oh, that'll be under assistance, right?
One would think.
I didn't know flight plan would put that on. Yeah. No,
That wasn't sarcasm, was it, Andrew?
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be sarcastic.
No, not.
Okay then.
I
We are a
meaning
family-friendly
more.
channel.
That's where you would expect it to be, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's where it is.
True. Very true.
Right. I just flew under some beautiful bridges. That was cool. You turn them off, but they still show up. Okay, Charlie. What's with that? What's with that? Let's come over to Mike. How's it going, Mike? Wraith is in the, he's also in the Optica below me, and he's passing me. How did he do that? I'm full power. Don't forget the canyon, you guys. If you're at the top of the canyon, it's like, I don't know, 4,000 feet altitude. If you're at the bottom of the canyon, you might have to adjust your mixture, you guys. But I'm seeing some gorgeous details. I'm flying down through the belly of the canyon. It's just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Hi. Thanks for the hi. Those of you who are on YouTube following us, thanks for joining in. It's new for us to stream on YouTube. We've been streaming on Twitch for 4.5 years, but from demand and from questions and people asking, please stream on YouTube also. So that's what we're doing. This is a dual stream. So you're going to hear me talking about some things that are happening in chat on Twitch, and Twitch will hear me talking about some things that are happening on YouTube. Although YouTube isn't as interactive. That's what I found Tuesday, and that's what I'm finding today too. With all of you who are tuned in so far on YouTube, by all means, say something in chat. Say hello. Tell us who you are. We've had
Freedom, welcome.
We've had 60 views in YouTube so far, but we really only have 7 concurrent. Whereas with Twitch, we have our normal group, normal group, which is really nice. Kate has been here for a while. Well, I missed it. I missed it, Kate. I'm sorry. I'm trying to manage a lot of screens and get flying and the rest of it. So I didn't see who was in chat right away. So I'm getting there. Are you coming to fly with us? Or are you going to do all that work stuff that you do on Saturdays? You know, fixing stuff and all that stuff you do at home. Now, you guys, it could be that my graphics card, my 3060, it could be that it just doesn't show these colors better properly, or maybe I'll have to tweak something. It may be that. So let's not judge the whole sim just on Howard's, visuals. But, we go over to Andrew's screen, and his aren't as deep a color as 2020 was. So, I think it really is the sim when we're seeing 2 of them the same. We go over to Noiseboy Mike, who's also flying 24, and he's got the same sort of colors too. So look at the detail here, you guys. And there's Grubius down below. I see Fierce Wolf also. We're on the Southeast Asia server on both 2020 and 2024. And Nebo says, I grew up in Arizona. Yes, yes, yes. Cactus country. That 4-hour drive from Phoenix Airport to Grand Canyon, I had a great conversation. I actually asked the driver if I could sit in the front seat and have a conversation, because I didn't like sitting in the back like some kind of celebrity. So I jump in the front with him, and he says, oh, thank God, we can have a conversation. He says, 4 hours. Most people just jump in the back and say nothing. And so it was cool. And he gave me an education on Arizona. He talked about the different types of vegetation and the different types of trees and the population. He talked about Sedona and how many Canadians are there. He talked about a lot of things. I learned that cactuses are full of water. How did I not know that? Did you guys know that? Cactuses are full of water. Okay, then. And so I learned stuff. I didn't just learn that, but I mean, it was very interesting. If you got 4 hours to kill, find someone who knows the area, right? Yeah. The golden hour is when the colors really come out. The golden hour. So Nebo wins that. The golden hour. And then the canyon is one of the most photographed areas, and every hour is different. Yeah, okay. The seasons are different too. So how do we get the nice colors?
Give it a minute. Panel Man will have a detailed description of golden hour and
okay, that's cool. Yeah, you can let us know.
That's his photography showing through again, right?
Yeah,
that's us.
So the question there was asked. Let's see. Hogzone, how you doing? He says, what is the software used to share the streams? So we're just using a protocol called SRT. It's used in professional broadcasting. They use SRT hardware. They use SRT protocol. But I'm just using SRT, which we had refined over the years, you guys. We learned it from the Shadows, who are also using SRT, Shadow Display Team. And it's doing direct from their, like Ace is sending, Andrew's sending, Mike is sending, and Dr. No Thumb, when he joins us, is sending. And we set it up ahead of time. They would use the SRT protocol in OBS. So they're using OBS just like anyone who would stream, but they're sending their stream to me, to my computer, with a special setup. And I can switch it here in OBS. I can just switch each of those streams in OBS. And that way I can see what they're doing. For instance, I'll move over to Andrew now, like that. He's sending that from his OBS. The same delays are there, so he's got probably up to 4-second, maybe even 7-second delay to me. And then from me, I send it out to you guys. So you might even see 14 seconds delay by the time you actually see what you're seeing on Andrew's screen, Ace's screen, and Mike's screen. And mine will be the most up-to-date screen because I'm only sending it to you guys once, right? So that's how we're doing it. Now, for my devices inside here, on Tuesday I had 4 different things hooked up. I've got a video switcher, and it's a professional switcher that the production studios use, where I just hit a button and it transitions to another video source, HDMI source, typically used with cameras. I'm using it with computers. And so, you know, that's how I'm making everything happen here. And we've refined this over the years, you guys, so that's how it's happening. Hope that helps.
Wraith got stuck in the gravel. Yeah, that's the thing that happens in this one, apparently. The ground is not all hard and you can drive over anything and everything. Some things are soft and you can get stuck.
So, Pogzone, so if you DM me on our Discord server, if you can send me a direct message, I'll give you some configuration tips if you want. It's not that hard once we figured it out. Once we figured it out, it's smooth, guys, and it works every time. It's actually very cool. I did use a server before. I ran a server software that cost me $70 a month. So I had to get rid of that. So that's how we found out the direct method, right? And so it was easier with that server, though. I mean, it always ran and it always had everybody connected, and we just flip a button and go to each one. But we got to figure it out now. And it gives you guys a lot of variety. And also, if my system's down or my sim doesn't work right, we can just flip to another screen. Someone else's sim is working okay. And that helps, too, on the stream, because you're not sitting there with me with a dead screen.
I gotta say, Andrew, your streaming goes so much better in 2024.
Yeah, it has. It
No
has.
kidding.
And the silly part is, the only thing that I did today that I didn't do last Saturday, is I'm streaming directly out of my sim machine instead of doing the.
Yeah, isn't that wild days? Isn't that amazing?
You know, the thing that like a month ago, mine by now I would have been hanging up and starting and stopping and starting and stopping and losing the connection and whatnot. The last 2 weeks, i.e. the last three streams with 24, I've been streaming directly with my OBS directly out of my sim machine like I used to. And it hasn't. I think we had one hiccup on Thursday towards the end of stream, but other than that, it's just weird. I'm not having to send from this down to my laptop and then have my laptop stream it to Howard. I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed it on. I don't know if I was on. If Howard had my screen up when I landed Thursday evening. When I landed back at Toronto City, I taxied back, looking at CN Tower and the Rogers Center and all of downtown Toronto. On 2020, with the same scenery, because I actually put my Toronto City scenery in. On 2020, I would have been jittery and stuttery and stops and starts and whatnot as long as I could see if I was facing the city. On Thursday, it was like it wasn't perfect. It was like I was driving over a bumpy road. It was jittery, but there was no stops and starts and freezes and pauses.
Nice.
And literally the only difference is 2020 to 2024.
Amazing.
Well, that's a win for you then.
No
Yep.
kidding.
When does your new machine
I
arrive?
was going to say, you're sending all that hardware back, Andrew. You want to sell it?
Well, it's sitting right next to me. I opened the box up yesterday and whatnot, but I haven't. I'm humming and hawing to about whether or not I'm going to pull the which SSD I want to take out of the old machine and move over to the new one.
Let me just pause for a second, Andrew. I've been waiting for you to finish what you were saying about your performance with OBS, but I do want to do a shout out, you guys. I started to type it, but then I almost crashed into the canyon wall, so I'm not going to type it. I want to do a shout out to Ucandu. He's here, you guys. He's dropped into the stream, and say hello to him. I was sure I gave him a VIP status in my in my Twitch manager, but I'm trying to find him now. But he should have VIP status, you guys.
Nope,
Say hi
he's
to-
not.
Yeah, he's not.
It's only Nikita's the only one showing on the VIP rate at the moment.
Yeah, so I gotta add him in. So, but you guys, you gotta go see him. Maybe who can do if you could just put a link in because I can't type while I'm flying here. I'm not on autopilot.
Straps already put a link to his Twitch channel.
Cool.
Yeah, I thought we had a shortcut to it, but
There, that now I just gave him VIP status. That should work. Okay. So welcome him in, and if you haven't been to his channel, you guys, you got to go there and follow him, and then you'll know when he's streaming again, and then you're not going to be disappointed.
Where is this flight plan taking me?
Mainly just down the river. I'm actually just following the river, you guys, the flight plan. But man, talk about a lot of points of on the flight plan just to make it go turn everywhere so you don't hit the walls. Man, I had to get in there and really work it. But hey, Just Tom is with us too in the 707. No, it's just Tom 707. Okay, you'll never.
Yeah.
You'll be in
no,
something that you can do.
Just Tom's been with us since the start. You just didn't notice him. Ukandu will be streaming in an hour.
Cool, you guys. And maybe we'll just have to raid his channel if he's still going when we're done. And we'll go over and raid him and keep going. For those of you on YouTube, we'll be raiding using Twitch. And we'll go to his channel, which is on Twitch. And that's why it's important for you to see that URL, you guys, because we won't be streaming. After we're stopped here, we'll stop the YouTube stream. And you guys could join Twitch and go and see him. And any other of our Twitch streamers. Butone Murphy, Allison Johnson, we usually raid her on Saturday. She's already flying. A few, actually surprisingly, or maybe it's not surprising, a few people have already started up today and we're flying simultaneously in the stream. I guess because a lot more streamers now have 24 working properly, or working sort of.
It's a nice view of your seat there, Andrew.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're still on Andrew.
sorry,
Okay, here.
I was
come over to
typing.
my screen, yeah. Yeah, that's it, Andrew. When we type, I almost ran into a wall trying to type. Look at the views in here. We're just following the river, you guys. And I can see you guys, when I look at the tags, I see a tag without any description, like appetizer down below me. I don't know what he's flying. I don't know if you got to get closer to see what they're flying. No, all of the tags just have names. Just Tom up there, Wraith. I'm catching up to a few of you
Even
now.
Meyer Flyer, I still see Charlie's tag, but sometimes when I get close to him, it'll tell me what his plane is and that kind of stuff.
So it's
but,
when you get closer. And I just saw
Yeah.
a couple of tags drop below the horizon here, where my pointer is. There they are. So it's interesting. Yeah, as soon as they're further down in the canyon, their tag goes with them. So that's pretty cool. What waypoint you're at? Trying to slew close. Okay, so Paul, we are at coming up on waypoint 18, or I am anyway, coming up on waypoint 18. And for those who are just joined us here, here's our flight plan. I can't leave it up too long because I'm not on autopilot, but we are flying Grand Canyon. There is a flight plan here, a very detailed one. That's what we're flying today for a few hours, usually about 3 hours on our streams. And we're just enjoying Grand Canyon in all its glory, both in 2024, which Andrew and I are flying. This is my screen without any labels. Here's Andrew's screen that says Andrew at the top, so that you'll know the two of us in 24. Then you come over and see Ace. He's also got the tag in there that says 2020. He's also flying the same flight plan, although we won't see each other in multiplayer. And then you'll also see Mike, Noiseboy Mike. He's got his 2020 running also. 2024, sorry. So I guess it looks like Ace, you're the only one broadcasting 2020 by the looks of it. Noiseboy Mike, Andrew, and I are all 2024. And look at this side shot coming through here. Ooh, is that beautiful? It really is gorgeous, you guys. Now, when I do side shots, I usually run into something, so I better turn around. And Just Tom is flying a Bonanza, which I'm sure is not.
Well, I know Charlie's flying a Bonanza.
Is he? Charlie, you're
That's what
just
his
flying
tag
a
says
Bonanza?
anyway.
Yeah. So Strap is on a flight plan, and he's landing at KGCN, you guys. That's the
Wow.
next airport. Wow, how'd you get that far ahead? KGCN, isn't that where the flight plan takes us there? Holy moly, what are you flying?
That's where I'm pulling into also, I guess.
Oh, KGCN.
A little
Oh,
ahead
so
of
you
you
guys are
guys.
way ahead of us. Holy moly.
I thought I was
Wow.
going slow.
Well, we're definitely, Andrew and I are flying slow, but what screen are we on? Okay. So
Yeah,
we're way back
I'm
here.
doing about 80 knots. So
We're way back
I
here.
underestimated how slow that optical was.
We're way back. Well, it's good to have slow while you're traveling through here. Just a minute. I want to make sure I don't hit any walls. We're way back here. We're following a flight plan, and those guys have landed. Let's close a few things here. Give you a better screen. Hold on. Make sure I don't hit something. Okay. So we're way back here, and they've gone all the way through here already, and they are already over here landing at this airport. This is the airport we were at for the real Grand Canyon preview event, was right here. And we flew helicopters out of here into the canyon and back again. So that's why I made the stop here in the flight plan. But
Alpha, what now?
I'm nowhere near it yet.
That's terrible.
Look at that detail. Uh-oh. Alpha what now's crashed or something?
CTD.
Ah. Look at that detail, you guys.
And apparently says that's a CTD that's about to lock up my whole PC.
Really? How's that possible? A multitasking system. You should be able to close one app, the rest will run. So much to explore. Now, a helicopter is the best way, you guys, but I would have been even slower, so I'm actually glad that I'm not using a helicopter. And the flight plan turns left, and I stayed right. Canyon turn. We're supposed to go out that way. Okay, why don't I go where everyone else is? I've always made my own path. As commendable as that is, I've always made my own path, but sometimes, you know...
Simu Flyer in the
gotta follow the
C400
rest.
Corvallis. Nice. That's a cute little plane. I tried that, was trying that the other night, and the silly thing wouldn't start. In order to get it started, I had to spawn on the runway. But I don't know if I was missing something or whatnot. But anyway, nice little plane, though.
Hermit, thanks for that comment. Yeah, it's interesting. No, interesting, you guys, when we hear this stuff. Hey, Rumpelzuck, looks like he's parked up on the hill. Is that cool? I want to go see him. Holy moly, look at this stuff. So in a helicopter, you guys, and my helicopter controls aren't connecting properly yet. I mean, they're not configured properly yet, but man, when you see this in a helicopter, I was flying that during the preview event. That's the way to see the canyon. And every single peak that you see here has a name on it. You okay down there, Rumpel? I see you. He's landed down there. Look at that. He's blowing smoke behind him.
Yeah,
dust
Mike,
behind him.
I haven't tried mine yet, but I was seeing that there were some issues with the steam gauge one.
Steam gauge 172 is working. So is it not working, you're saying, Mike?
Yeah, I forget what it was, but there are issues with it.
And Hermit's using the Logitech X56, which is a great stick, and he said that it's got a drift in it now. Yeah, different kind of mapping, right?
Huh.
If you point your plane at a name tag, it will show the plane they are in. Oh. Strap, you're just too fast for the rest of us, right? Wow. Wait a minute. I've got full throttle here. How did Wraith just pass me? Come on, Hard, step on it. I am. Is this beautiful or what? Breathtaking. Ace is waiting at the airport. You're going to be waiting a long time for me, so you better go with the crowd, Ace, or lead them on further if you want, but you're just too fast in that, baby. The new extra does snap stalls. Awesome. Nebo, you got to show us that. Snap stalls. Cool. It's a familiar looking area here. This is where we actually flew the helicopter, yeah. So I was mentioning earlier, guys, this whole thing is mapped out, and they're all Native American names, of course, because that's when they first named these things. Every peak, every area, and when you go with a helicopter ride, they'll talk about it. And over here on the right, you see the something or other peak, and over here on the left, you'll see the something or other valley. They have names for the whole thing. And when you're hiking through here, of course, the map would have names for everything where you are. So there's lots to learn. We're not going to teach anything today. We don't know anything, right? Unless there's somebody in the crowd who knows the canyon well. Like, was it Nebo that said you're from the area? You're from Arizona? You probably know more about the canyon than most of us. So there's so much to learn in here, and so many peaks and valleys, literally, that it would take a lifetime of hiking through here and flying through here and doing all, just to figure out some of the areas. But, the general rule we learned already was there's a southern rim and a northern rim, and, we're learning the points of the compass anyway, and to find our general moving around, right? Every time I come past an opening where the sun's coming through, it looks pretty wild. We're gonna get there. You're in the 208 strap. You're doing 100 knots. And you're waiting at KGCN. Well, I had a slower start because I couldn't get the plane going. And I think it was, the gear, I thought the gear switch was up, but I don't think gear works in this thing, right? I don't think you can retract the gear. I think it's fixed gear, right?
It's fixed gear.
Yeah, just more weight, right? And so that wasn't holding me back. Something was. Look at that view. So things will get better. Those of you who are disgusted with it, those of you who got a refund, I understand your frustration. I tried to install on 3 different platforms, and I was successful on one on my laptop the day of the launch. P Delta Bravo was the first one in that we know, and he was all alone. There were nobody there. There was no tags. There was nothing. He was lucky. He had the whole sim to himself. So the first day troubles and frustrations are understandable, those of you who just got fed up and got a refund. But there's no doubt they are tweaking servers 24/7, working on a solution to make things smoother, to bring services online, and to make everything happen. Murph's stream a couple of days ago, he talked about, he drew a whiteboard diagram of how he perceives the Azure setup. And it was an excellent block diagram to help us. We ended up calling it the green square was the answer. And I suggested to him that he should send that to Microsoft because he had it figured out too. But as an Azure specialist, you guys, I'll tell you this, it is Azure servers. It's Azure services from the cloud that were the problem. And they under-allocated services. And I'll tell you how foolish this is, and I can be a critic because I taught this for years. And I'm still an infrastructure specialist for Azure. As foolish as this is, they allocated services for 200,000 connections, which is what they did in the Tech Alpha, for 200,000 connections. And they should have expected 4 or 5 million connections. That's what happened. So services were overloaded. It's like a flood attack on DNS. Services were so overloaded, they just shut down. So they throttled back the connections. That's why a lot of us were sitting at 97% forever. And throttling back connections allowed it to breathe for a while, but then it overloaded again. It's just bad planning. And that's not necessarily the Azure IT specialists that work at Microsoft. It's whoever allocated, which the buck stops at Seb, who's a Sobo, and the buck stops at the CEO of Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is Jorg. And as much as he smiles on the screen and says, I understand your frustration, quite honestly, the buck stops there. And he has to take the heat for that. Allocate the right resources. You must have expected millions to try and start the first day. And you've got the resources, you just didn't allocate enough of them. That's the problem.
Apparently they expected 200,000.
200,000. They only we underestimated how many people would move to 24. You spent hundreds of thousands in marketing. You spent hundreds of thousands to get us to Grand Canyon so we can have a free helicopter ride and a free hotel and a great time and a lot of fun. And you didn't expect with all that marketing that you would get more than 200,000 people connecting. Foolishness. And so whether that's the truth or not, that's what he says is the answer to everything. And they obviously didn't allocate enough resources. Now, if they over allocate, they're paying for too much resources. So, there is a business thing in there. If they allocated for 5 million users and they only got 200,000, they would pay millions of dollars for resources they didn't need. So there is that. It's a business thing, you guys. So But
Yeah,
just just foolishness.
yeah, Mike, they did just say they tested it with 200,000. They didn't
Right.
say they were expecting
Tech Alpha.
200.
No, but they did. There's a statement that Jorg has made and Seb has made that they allocated for 200,000 the day of the release, and it overloaded their servers. And there's only 2 services that really needed that crucial number. The rest could handle it no problems. That's why we had partial installs. But we need those services running, and they weren't. Hey, I see you, Paul. I see you to my right, off my right wing, over that way, over the cliff. I just see you way back there. And I better turn. Well, we don't know. Jorg may have said we want 3 million connections, and MS looked at the cost of that and said no. Well, he's the CEO of Microsoft Flight Simulator. He can allocate resources. He just has to reserve it, you guys. And the technicians who manage the Azure servers, it's a web interface. They just go click, right? And they can make it dynamic too. If it grew to millions, it could scale up the servers to millions. Let me tell you, we teach this. All technicians who are cloud certified for Microsoft know how to do this. Amazon, same thing. They can dynamically allocate, meaning as demand grows, servers grow. The farm becomes bigger. I won't get into all the details, you guys, but that's how it works, and it's not hard to do. And it's all actually browser interface now. We went from, and Ace, you know this because you've worked with servers too. We went from tons of physical servers in a server room to a web interface and a good internet connection to the cloud. Every business had to upgrade their internet connection because the servers are now sitting in Microsoft's data centers. So, it was huge. And I've been doing this for the last, I don't know how many, 15 years, maybe 10 years for sure. We've been moving companies over to the cloud. And, that's not
all the buses.
And it's not a new thing either, you guys, because when you think about, even in the early days of dial-up, when we had an email address and an IP address, an email address and an IP address, back in those days, our email servers were in the cloud. They just didn't use the expression. They were at your ISP. You had a server at your ISP that did your email, and you collected your email. Even back in the BlackBerry days, even back in the before BlackBerry days, we were getting our emails from email servers somewhere else, some other building, and that's cloud-based. You had cloud-based email way back then. Hotmail first came out. We could travel around the world doing Hotmail with a browser. Cloud-based services, right? We had email servers in the cloud. So that's nothing new. It's just now we can have all the services, so you don't need any servers in your business anymore. All the servers, your infrastructure servers and your email servers and your SharePoints and all the rest of them are all now sitting at a data center, Microsoft's data center, with high-end fiber backbone connections between them. Yeah.
Yeah, Cold Nebo, I actually am wondering how much of that is going to start happening with ISPs. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm sure ISPs are, yeah. This is anything cloud-based, you guys, and now we got millions more. But don't forget that millions of us connecting using the SIM, there's already in Azure millions and millions of businesses using more bandwidth than we are, and they're paying for it. And a lot of those businesses I set up and moved over to the cloud, a lot of those businesses are paying hundreds of thousands per month for infrastructure because of Azure servers and all their services. They're paying for it. How's our business model working? We're connecting to the cloud and using all these services now and pulling down data and all this stuff. How does that get paid for, So I think that's they obviously have a business plan, but we don't know what that is. But anyway,
it is messy though, Howard, because there is such a push to move all these small businesses, especially over to cloud infrastructure. But the ones that are in areas that have really poor internet options, there's a growing decline in in-house solutions as a result of competing with all these cloud services.
Right.
Hosting all your own back end locally is getting ridiculously expensive and hard to do.
And also the training too, Ace. You're absolutely right. And I used to train Exchange servers was my first specialty in Microsoft. And, teaching how to set up and maintain physical servers in-house was a course that ran every week. I had to find other instructors because I couldn't do it every week. And so that became less and less and less and less, to the point where I think if you were to try to get an exchange course for in-house servers, probably doesn't even exist anymore. All they have is the web-based, cloud-based, Azure-based email server courses. And people are going, I just want to make my own server in-house, like you say, locally, right? Some business that doesn't want to do cloud stuff, and they don't even find a course on it. They're gonna have to go find some kind of videos and YouTubes.
And even if they find it, the costs have changed drastically for what it costs to run your own backend like that. Microsoft's own licensing and stuff has gotten far more expensive for server and whatnot.
But competes with AWS though. That's their biggest competitor. So yeah. AWS and Azure both always. If AWS brings down the cost of services, down comes Azure, and vice versa. So that's healthy.
Again, that's cloud. That's cloud. I'm talking about the cost of local hosting.
I see. Okay.
Well, say you're a small business, but you're in a more rural America or rural Canada location where your internet connection's just not really good enough to have your entire infrastructure be up in the cloud. You need local access to this stuff, and yet the cost of doing that is going up because economies of scale. If most people are moving to the cloud, then services that once sold for local backends aren't getting as many sales, and so therefore it's costing more to do local hosting because of the cloud solutions. But if you live in an area where your internet's not good enough for cloud solutions, and you're not a wealthy enough business to locally host all this stuff, you're in a bad spot. Not everybody has good internet yet. Unfortunately, it's still a reality, and even in 2024, not everybody has good internet yet.
It is true. Interestingly enough, you guys hear about Starlink and you hear about people in remote areas now have access to internet. But still, it's not the fastest connection, of course. Anything satellite-based is not going to be as fast as anything wired or fiber or the things that we enjoy in our homes right now. I can remember not long ago, my sister who lives in Riley, Alberta, a village of about 700, I think if I remember correctly, they were using TELUS dial-up even then, not long ago. I think now she finally has some kind of local internet that's better. But they were using a cellular kind of solution, and she was actually using a modem with dial-up. And some people were using cellular with their phones. But and that's just in all of Canada, everybody's got internet, it seems. But there's more remote areas further north, and there are plenty of places in the world that don't have internet at all. And that's part of the plan of all those satellites that Musk threw up into space. Part of the plan was to have internet access to the whole world, to people who just don't have it, and rural areas, and people who are out traveling all the time. I have friends who are in an RV right now in Arizona from here in Toronto, and they have a Starlink mobile dish, and it's the size of, it can fit into a carry-on bag, and they can just take that out of their RV and set it on the ground, and they've got full internet while they're traveling wherever they are in the world. That's pretty cool to see that happening. So more and more people are connecting to internet. Now, as we say that, more and more data is coming out of the cloud, right? Of the different services that we use. So even though more and more people have accessibility to internet, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to run smoothly for all the things that's happening, because there's so much stuff happening right now coming from the cloud. Cloud services are certainly making money. They're making a ton of money. But they invested a lot. Each data center that Microsoft puts in, and every country has at least 2 connected with a fiber backbone, every one of those data centers cost billions to install, literally. And so, huge investment. And I've seen what those look like. They're the physical, actual server modules that they plop in. A lot of them are sitting on rooftops too, because they're water cooled, and they vent that humid air out into the air, And they have another one, and they have a data center that's actually underwater off the coast of Scotland, originally tested in California. That's pretty cool too. Which makes sense. If you're going to water cool your system, why not put it in the water? Can they try 2024 and let us know that runs on Starlink? Yeah, that's a good idea. My friends aren't flyers. They don't even have the flight sim itself. They love what I'm doing and they tune in once in a while, but they don't actually fly. But that would be cool to try that, right? Yeah, that
I
would
think
be,
it should work. My only concern would be, doesn't Starlink have caps?
yeah, I would bet. Yeah, I would bet their data cap, just like we do with cell phones, you guys. Most of us have data caps. I'm lucky enough to have an unlimited data plan, but you know, you would easily hit your cap flying this sim because it's streaming it all, right? It's streaming.
You
it
need to
all.
look at your fine print too, Howard, because you might have an unlimited data plan to your phone, but what about tethering?
Right. Yep. That's a good
It
point.
depends on the carrier, but I know for a fact mine, if I use my phone as a hotspot on my computer, I do not have unlimited data. They will cap me.
Yep. It's worth looking into, you guys, for sure.
So if you want to test the limits of that, use your phone as a hotspot and play Flight Sim 2024.
See how long you can play before it
How
turns
long
you
have
off.
service. Yeah.
I think Oz uses Starlink, doesn't he?
By the way, Howard, do you think you got enough waypoints in this flight plan? I used the PMS 750 add-on, and it apparently gets a little rough with a lot of waypoints. There's noticeable frame rate difference and stuttering if I have my avionics on versus off. And then when I turn them off and then turn them back on, there's a big long pause as it reloads it all up. It's pretty impressive. I'm crossing waypoint 115. But I'm having like little jitters and stutters. I turn off my avionics and boom, sim is smooth as silk. I guess you're muted, Howard. None of us can hear you.
Oh, sorry. How'd that happen? Oh, maybe when I was coughing. But sorry, you guys. Panaman says I had to disable the PMS GTN 750 on 2024. Kept locking up in the sim with the flight plan. And Humber says, just a minute. No, I was reading about 100 waypoints. PMS 750 hates more than 100 waypoints, Panaman says. I have to keep that in mind now. But, you know, this flight plan, if you wanted to go on autopilot, I wanted it to follow the roads. I wanted it to follow the river and curve and turn and
roads.
So, yeah, roads. Yeah, there's
and it did.
Where we're going, we don't need no stinking roads.
I haven't even tried
so
to do this.
I don't even know how many waypoints, but I know last night I had straight lines to start with, and then I started bending them all to follow the river. So that's how it happened, you guys. Now there is in YouTube, there is a message in there. Thorin Grillo. Oh, Thomas Grillo, how you doing? And MCS Studio 101 says, so I've read it. I have a real question. Only the real ones, okay? We only want the real questions. Why did they stop doing PC-based games on drives? And I'll talk about that. I used to download it to the PC. All info was there, and you get updates. Any scenery was not an issue with add-ons, right? And so the point is, as the graphics resolution got higher, as the games got more complex and more sophisticated, the installs became bigger and bigger. In very early days of computing, and many of us here on the stream today are from that era. I was a support specialist for Windows 3.1, you guys, and DOS. From those days, you could install a game from a 3.5-inch floppy disk. That's how it starts. Then it became 3 or 5 floppy disks. Then it became a at some point it became a download, you guys. I remember Windows 95 was on 35 disks or something like that. So everything got bigger and it took longer to install. Well, that happened here with the sim. In 2020, the sim was installed on your local drive. I think it's about 120 gigabytes, maybe, way up there. Right now, 2024 is 15 gigabytes. That's what we got. Now, we do have a growing cache that it'll bring stuff in, stream it in, put it in the cache for. So there's some more space there on the fly. That's temporary. But still, our install now is small, which they said would be. They called it the small footprint. And now it's streaming everything in as we need it. and we're seeing gorgeous performance, we're seeing gorgeous scenery, we're seeing everything beautiful, but it's coming from this cloud. It's a huge database that we could never put on our local hard drive. Even in 2020, that database in the cloud was something like 9 petabytes.
Yeah.
So we couldn't put that on our local drive. Nobody has
what
a drive
did they
that
say?
big,
Is
right?
it, what was Jorg or Seb or whatnot? But somebody said, if we could put this on your hard drive, your house would burn down because it would just be so much work. Your PC would be overheating.
Now, keep in mind, you guys, when you go into a product like DCS,
Ooh.
when you look at that kind of product, what are you looking at?
I turned my avionics switch back on, and this time it didn't just pause; it crashed me.
Oh, so that's your GTN 750, right? You're talking about, right?
Yeah, it's not a fan. So, Fly and Dive, I see you and Aaron are talking. You're talking about the 24 version of PMS. I'm running the 2020 version on 2020. It's still not a fan of over 100 waypoints. It gets sketchy, and so yeah, I crashed.
And so,
I had a CPP on 2020 before Howard or Andy had any on 2024.
MCS Studio says Starlink is amazing with gaming, no issues. Cool.
Yeah.
There we go. We got to test you guys. Thanks for that.
I can't remember. Like I said earlier, I think Oz Nomad is using Starlink, but I can't remember. Was Oz on 24? I don't remember if he
was on stream last time, so I think he is.
Yeah.
But he'll pop in. We'll see him.
Oh yeah.
The Tomorrow Man, you guys. The Tomorrow Man.
Yeah. It is midnight for Oz right now, so.
No problem. The sim has no limits on time, right?
Yeah, MC Studios
Starlink. Okay.
on YouTube. Yeah, just as an point of information, I'm flying 2024. I've got no stutters. I've got no hiccups. It's done nothing weird sim based other than I think the profile for this particular plane still had my my thrustmaster throttle as a throttle. So every time I touched one of the buttons, I moved it a little bit, and it was dropping my actual throttle down to nothing, and then I had to move my other throttle up a little bit. And it took me a little bit to figure out what that is. But I'm using an i5 9400F on a GTX 1660 and 32 gigs of RAM.
A 1660, you guys. Do you hear that? That's amazing.
And I did on our stream on Thursday, I unintentionally did a direct comparison between 24 and 2020. Because I landed at an airport that in 2020, if I look directly at the city of Toronto, gives me stutters and stops and pauses like you wouldn't believe. And when I did it on Thursday night in 2024 and looked directly at the city, it wasn't perfect. It still was a little shuddery, but it was like driving on gravel instead of stopping and starting and stopping and starting and stopping and starting. And that is literally it's exactly the same machine. So that just shows you the performance enhancements that they've put on 2024.
I'm going to give you guys some close-ups in here, but just the testament that Andrew talks about and how it works so well. And I heard one of you also mention that you had that too. Iced Fire, yeah. You have a 1660 also. That card, that was one of my first cards. I built a lot of machines for 2020, for the sim for 2020, for people. I built a lot of machines with the 1660 card. And I was bragging about how I could make a sim machine for under 1,000. I think at that time I was telling people I could make you a sim machine for under $800. And I was putting a 1660 card in it too. And that was my first sim machine for 2020. Also had a 1660, same as Andrew. I moved on to a better motherboard and more memory and hard drive, and I moved on to a better system. Andrew stayed with the 1660, and look at it, it's performing for him. It's pretty amazing. I hear him doing a close-up, you guys, just so you can see how it looks. But this close up and the lighting and everything is pretty wild. An i5 is 6500. Do you think it'll run 24? Absolutely. It'll run 24. Absolutely. And then your graphics card too makes a difference too, but you can see with Andrew having a 1660. What was the other one, Ace, that was mentioned earlier in the stream?
Oh, the 1080 Ti.
1080 Ti, right?
The 1080 Ti is, I would say, Howard, is almost as if even with your 3060, and it's 2 generations behind it. It's the 1080 Ti is for whatever reason is an amazing piece of gear.
I recall it was comparable to like a 2070, right?
Something like that. It was a generation ahead even before the 2000s had even come out. But yeah, I mean, Howard. Well, Howard, you've met him, Tristan from Nova Wing 24.
Yes, yeah.
Tristan flies with a 1080 Ti.
Tristan's a riot, you guys. If you haven't seen him before, he's a riot. We've seen him twice now at 2 FS Expos, yeah.
They are planning to do a 3 Grumpy Simmers video shortly.
So I've got it on Noiseboy Mike's cam. I was waiting for the topic. When we get into theme topics, I don't want to break it, you guys, so you know when people are talking. But Noiseboy Mike gifted a bunch of subs, you guys. The most generous person in the world. I think between him and Charles Farmer, they're competing to have the most amount of gift subs. And Ace is in that pool too. Ace is giving away a lot of subs on this channel, you guys. And so for all of you who do gift subs, we thank you. But Mike just poured generosity all over the stream by sending out some gift subs. So don't forget to thank him, or if you were one of the recipients of that gift sub. And that's what keeps the streams alive, you guys. It pays for all our royalty-free stuff like Epidemic Sound, royalty-free images when I do my lessons. And actually the cost of doing Twitch, it does cost us a yearly amount. Discord server costs us. Everything costs money to make this happen. So our hobby, in my case, this hobby of mine of sharing with this whole community and my co-hosts and my moderators is all affordable because of the subs, you guys, that are happening in Twitch. And any donations you guys want to give from YouTube, also, there is a donation to PayPal link, which we just had one recently. Hi, Zybok, how you doing?
He says, an hour ago, I almost hit a deer on a dirt runway taking off in the Osprey. Well, DNH, ospreys are supposed to hunt fish, not deer.
How'd you know that?
Well,
I'm off course. Ospreys. I went off course too. We were supposed to make a left turn at Albuquerque. Back here.
There's Just Tom.
This
in the Spitfire.
Oh, he's doing the Spitfire through the canyon. Now there's a challenge.
Well, the tag says he's flying a Spitfire, but I see a Bonanza.
Oh, now I'm going the wrong way. First I was going...
Howard, do you remember...
Go ahead.
Do you remember the KO of that airport that was like midway through the flight plan?
KGCN, I think. KGCN, I think. This comes to mind real quick, but I'll look on my map in a second. I'm doing a canyon turn because I messed up. There's a left turn here somewhere. What am I doing? Oh, I'm going right over. Yeah, that's why I missed it, you guys. We got to climb up over the cliff and head towards... Oh, wow. That was poor planning on my part when I made the flight plan.
Yeah. Well, when you get to that airport, when you almost turn around, do 180 degrees and come back a little further north than you were when you went in.
I could have made that flight plan a little better. I could have followed the valley a bit more. But anyway, that's...
Charlie's there now. He's changing planes.
Or at least get fuel, you guys.
Zybok? Yes. Howard and I are on 2024. Mike is on 24, I think. And Ace is actually streaming 2020 on the same flight plan. Now, we're not in the same spot on the same flight plan, but we're seeing the same sets of scenery and whatnot.
So I'm going to give Ace my handle. He's going to be called Firewall from now on. Because he just goes, you guys. Yeah, we are doing a casual comparison. We're not doing anything formal. We're just kind of looking at both and saying, We're saying, cool, what's different, what's better, what's good. You know, right now we've been talking about how the graphics is awesome with even low-end cards, you guys. It's amazing. And that's a relief for a lot of you who are thinking, oh, am I going to have to upgrade? And the answer is probably no. Again, I'm way off course. I've got these big cliffs all around me. I have no clue where I'm going as I was talking. Look, looks gorgeous, but how am I going to get out of here? This plane does not have the performance to climb up over that cliff. Is there an opening over here? No, I'm in trouble. Canyon turn. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and regroup here and figure out what I can do, because that is not the way. This looks very familiar, actually. Oh, this is familiar. This is this. Yeah, we were standing out there on that cliff. Yeah, this looks very familiar. I'm going to climb. Climbing turn. Cybox, so it says, is it because of the cloud streaming or not, Howard? So, I'm not sure what the reference is. I mean, cloud streaming, we've talked about how that'll certainly cause more bandwidth issues with your internet, but cloud streaming hasn't given us any grief at all as far as the graphics goes, as far as the flying goes. I mean, smooth. Everything's smooth as silk, even on low-end graphics machines. Now, I think part of that is because this new sim does DX12. So DirectX 12 was in beta, or we did it. We were trying it in 2020 and it wasn't working so well. That could be part of why it's working so well with graphics.
Well,
and certainly the code, right?
I'll throw a remark in on that one right here, Howard. DX12, I couldn't use it on 2020.
Right. While you're saying that, just look at, while Andrew's talking, you guys, just look at my screen. This is the area where we were on the lookouts, manual lookouts, where we came in and we came in a Hummer and we sat out here on the rim and we looked out to this area. If I can find a mouse, we sat out here on the rim. We looked down this area. This is all very familiar. We got tons of photographs of this because we were actually out on these rims manually. And then we brought a helicopter in, and there's one of the ledges right there where we went by on the helicopter. So this is all, this part here is familiar. And this is heading towards the airport where everybody's parked or where everybody's already been. And that's where we're heading right now. We're heading to that airport, just over the cliff here. And that's where the helicopter, where you could hire the helicopters to take you, if you can climb up this high. Don't know if this plane can get there from here. And Paul, you were mentioning about slewing. How do you slew? We haven't done a slew yet. Do you know how to do it here? That'd be interesting to hear, right? There's no empty parking space on KGCN. Any tourist planes, yeah. Where the flight plan comes out and gets close to be able to hop on the cliff. Oh, I see. Shift Z? Okay. I cannot climb up this cliff, so I'm in trouble. So I'm going to have to do circles and come around. So that was poor planning on my part. I had the flight plan go to the airport, but don't forget, you guys, you got to climb up to, what, 4,000 feet or something? I'm going to have to just do a circling turn until I can get over the cliff. We'll just come over to some other machines here. There's Aces. Here's Andrew. And we're not flying helicopters. Andrew and I are in the Optica, which is like a helicopter kind of cockpit. Lots of visibility. Intentionally designed for visibility, you guys. What are we at? 7,000 feet. All right. Don't forget to manage your mixture, you guys. For those who don't know how to manage your mixture, you pull back your mixture until your RPMs start to drop, and then go forward a touch. That's the easy way, the quick way. And that way you've matched your fuel, you've leaned your fuel to the thinner air that you're in. All right, that's just a general rule, but that's what we do in real life. If you've got an EGT gauge, then your plane, whatever you're in, would have a setting, like typically 50 degrees rich of peak, or 50 degrees lean of peak. We can get into that someday in a lesson, but for now, just pull back your mixture if you have a mixture control. Pull back your mixture until the RPMs start to drop, and then put it back forward a bit. I am going to make it. I'm doing a circling turn, and now I'm coming around this side of the ridge. This plane certainly cannot go straight up. And as you can see by my gauge here, as I pull up to go over the ridge, I'm going to lose some airspeed. And if I get below here, and I'm going to drop out of the sky. So I'm just trying to gradually work my way up. I am gaining some altitude. I got about 500 feet per minute here. And I will eventually get over the top of that cliff and get to the airport. Test to see if if I lower the ramp door in the V-22 and see if I can walk inside it. Well, that's cool. That is cool. Andrew's looking at settings. And here's Ace. And you're not on video, Ace.
I'm not.
Your face. Oh, your face. Oh, there you are. Okay. I just had Andrew's name.
Oh,
sorry.
Andrew's not on video. Andrew's got his camera.
Oh, that's
off.
what it is. Okay. So I just made it over the top, you guys. I kept climbing as I mentioned. And now this is exactly what we saw in a helicopter. It really is this dense with these kinds of evergreen trees on top, on the flat part. So that's going to be fun because when we come back out, we're going to go right over the cliff like this. You can see that. We go right over the cliff and then it's just empty space forever. It's going to be fun. I'm heading over to the airport where everybody's already been. So MCS Studios in YouTube chat says mine is a Sapphire 580X, Asus 490 motherboard, 32 gigs of RAM, Intel 3770s. It has been a great system, also smooth and multi add-ons running as well, so possible I will have no issues running. Good to know, isn't it? Isn't it great to know? Oh, I'm following the perimeter road. Go right back over the rim. It's pretty sluggish up here for this altitude, but I've got it all leaned out. I'm still getting 2600 RPM, which is good. And I'm heading over to the airport. Nice and slow. Ace, you should try flying the Optica. It would be a very different experience for you. You will never get the kind of speed and performance you're used to. It's not going to happen.
That's a cool plane. I have it. I haven't flown it yet, but it looks fun.
We hadn't flown it for forever because it was just so slow. Who is this? Oh, I guess this is my passenger. Hey, yo, buddy. How's it going? Who's HTIMS? What? I don't know.
There is one upside to my CTD.
What's that?
I had disabled my Tobii eye tracker because of 2024, and I couldn't re-enable it with the sim running. I needed to do a sim restart to get the eye tracker working again. So,
are you using your Tobii?
Back. Well, in 2020, yeah.
In 2020, right? Yeah, yeah.
I had disabled it on the computer because it was messing with 2024. I launched 2020 without first restarting the Tobii, and you can't get the Tobii to work without having it running before the sim. So I was going to need to restart the sim to get the head tracker working anyway. So I had no head tracking, but since I crashed, now I have my head tracking back. So I am happy about that.
That's cool. I want to, oh look, Mike's looking around, you guys, and he's walking around again, just like he did on Thursday night. Mike lost his plane, you guys. This is Noiseboy Mike, the generous guy who just gave out a bunch of subs. He's walking around. You see, we can walk around now in the sim. So this is something I want all of us to do, except I couldn't catch up fast enough. I want us to stand on the rim of the Grand Canyon with all of us as our people. Standing on the rim. I know, one of you are going to try jumping, I know, but still, we're not going to focus on that.
Don't forget your parking brake.
So Mike says, this time I put your parking brake on so he doesn't lose his plane. Oh, look, she's sneaking up on you. We're going to have some fun with this feature, you guys. This is where you get to come out of your plane and then you get to walk around and do stuff. That's just Tom trying out all the features of walking around. And you guys, I'd like us all in 2024 to come out of your plane and like they are at the airport, but I want us to be at the edge of the Grand Canyon and take a picture of us like you would in real life. Take a picture of us standing on the rim. So that's something I'd like us to do somehow. I don't know. I couldn't catch up to you guys fast enough, but we got to get back out to the rim and do that, right?
This is going to turn into a far more morbid version of base jumping, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's that's what we got to watch out for. Is people are going to jump off the cliff. We're not going to follow them. I'm coming in on the airport. I finally made it. Ace says, yeah, an hour after I was there. Yeah. So, Paul, just open your door. I think opening your door gets you out of the plane, right? Oh, yeah, I got lots of speed now because I'm on a dive. Look at this. Yee-haw. You ever see me go so fast? In this plane? I'm almost yellow. That's where a lot of people are right now. Well, maybe I should use flaps. Maybe I should try a normal landing. Nah, we can do a flapless landing, right? We got lots of distance here. Yeah, this is KGCN, I think, if I remember correctly. KGCN, yep, that's it. Yeah, I'm bleeding off speed here, but it's taken a while. It's taken a while. Here we go. That's a good landing speed. Oh, I'll put it down now. So, Neba, are you taxiing or are you just like floating down the taxiway? Boy, it's a bumpy ride here. Look at this. We're so used to cutting across the grass. It's all got physical resistance here, you guys. And that's what they talked about. They said bumps and rocks and everything is going to affect us. It certainly is. I just bounced around coming across from the runway to the taxiway. Oof. That was fun. So MCS Studios, you'll drop a line, let us know how a system is. That's cool. And great live video. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you coming in and your feedback. Anyone else in YouTube chat right now want to say something, make some comments or observations or help out in chat? Let us know. We like the interactivity. It's what we do on the channel on Twitch. And now we're just trying to include everyone in the YouTube community. I'm heading up to where the crowd is. Can you see the crowd up ahead? They're all there. That's not the end of the flight, you guys, but that's just where everything was happening. I think this is the, this might not even be the airport where the helicopters were, but it certainly is a major airport. This is the Grand Canyon National Park Airport, so I'm not sure this is where our helicopters were. There might be a smaller strip here somewhere. And there's something new, you guys. You're going to actually see people standing outside their plane, walking around. We got more people on the tarmac, more people on the runways. We're going to have to really watch out for people because they're everywhere now.
What is my smoke doing?
Wow. Oh, you got 2. That's why. Oh,
I got 4.
Oh, you got 4. Look at that. Nice.
2 of them are really long, and 2 of them look like the short smoke that comes off that pits.
Right.
Or if there's like a conflict going on, then it's like creating that pit smoke on top of the normal smog smoke. That is just kind of cool.
Noise Boy Mike says Ace of Spades overachiever. Beautiful. Look at that. Yeah. Nice to do an aileron roll with smoke, right? Get that beautiful.
All the smoke.
With all your smoke. Yeah, look at that. You're like a washing machine there. So let me come over to Mike again. He was walking around. I think he's back in his plane now. Yep. Or no? Yeah, that's got to be a plane. That's nice and smooth. You're not walking now, Mike, right? Ace of Spades. Neba says, hey, Ace of Spades, save some smoke for the rest of us.
Nope, all mine.
He is walking. Okay, yeah, Mike. You like the walking feature, right? He says, oh, we could fly anytime. It's the walking part that's fun. I see Panoman and Sumafly are all heading out on the taxiway, so I'm going to follow them. we're heading out to, because I've got a slow machine. You guys try cutting across the grass, the brown grass. Try cutting across that and just see how that feels. You can see here, Grubius is there right now and kicking up some dust. So if I go behind him, well, that dust should blind me. I'm just going to come over here behind him. That should blind me while I'm following him, and it should also make my wings kind of flutter. Let's just test it. Test a theory. Go ahead, Grubius. I'll just come behind you here. It's interesting seeing everybody kicking up dust, you guys. That's cool. So there he is going ahead of me, but I'm not getting the dust effect now. I guess I'm too close. My dust is happening. Yeah. Appetizer's dust is happening. I did see it coming from Grubius, and then I got close. Yeah. That you should up the rolling cache to 100 gigabytes. So I did it now, and it will take a few minutes to update. Okay, so the rolling cache, Paul, let us know. Yeah, and Panaman, no, I haven't tested the wake turbulence feature. I did try it. I did try it. There we go. It's a certain distance. Grubius got to a certain distance, and then I saw all that dust. But my wings didn't waver one bit, so I'm going to come over behind him. I think he has to kick up the RPMs before you see that. But look at us bouncing through all the rocks and stuff, you guys. I mean, this can't be good for the undercarriage, right? Oops. But we're definitely going to be trying some wake turbulence stuff, you guys, but this would be a good time to try it. You upped your cache to 150, Twit says. So you guys I haven't even looked at cache settings. Where did you find that in our settings? Give us a hint, okay? And Paul's going to give us a picture or something like that, right? Wake turbulence is supposed to be, just like in real life, it's supposed to stay there for like 6 minutes. So that's what we want to test. Look at me bouncing around through all the rocks and stuff that are on the ground. Is that interesting or what? There, I got the brakes on and full power.
Have you tested the community nameplate mod in 2024 yet?
No, I'm afraid to test any of those things because it's like my sim's working and I'm one of the few, but now more and more of us are working, so maybe I should, yeah. So Paul says mine was set at 16, so 100 gigabytes is a lot bigger. Yeah, I set mine in 2020 at 100 too.
Yeah, it defaults to 16. If you don't do anything, it assumes 16.
And it seems to be fine. But the bigger your cache, the more it can pull in. Back over to Ace in 2020 here, as he does some fantastic things. Andrew, you turned your camera off, right? Because your name shows up backwards again. I didn't know what they said in chat. One of you said in chat, who is, and then they wrote the name down. And I looked and said, I don't even know what that means. And now I see it when your video was off, that your name shows up backwards, right?
Yeah.
Holy mackerel, Ace, that is beautiful what you're doing. That's wonderful. And by the way, you guys, Grubius came over to my plane, and he's now trying to get in. Look at him. Or he's punching my rudder. I don't know what he's doing there. But look. So I think I'll pull back power, put on my brakes, and I'll get out and talk to him. I think I'll just get out and talk to him. All right, let's try that. Somewhere in here, there's a door handle. Right there. There. There we go. Look at that. That's how it's done. Now I'm walking around. Yo, Grubius, how's it going? He goes, here, I'll do some breakdancing for you for a second. Oh my gosh, my mouse is stuck. Okay, there we go. How do you walk around? I guess using the, look at him. Oh, I see. Here's how you walk around. Just use your controller. And then how do you crouch down? You use one of the... Oh, I took a picture, I guess. Or I zoomed in. Oh, did I go into drone mode? Photography mode. Paul, you can get into photography mode even while you're in free flight. Look at this. I was going to take it. There he is. Let's take a picture of Grubius Doom. Look at this. Can I zoom out? Oh, there we go. Let's just zoom in. There we go. We got him now. We got him now. Take a picture, Howard. How do you take a picture? Take a photo with A. Boom. Got me a photo. Yeah, that's cool. I haven't played with this. Actually, Paul's played with this a lot. I haven't played with this yet. Look at that. You can take pictures left and right. See? We don't need no NVIDIA capture. You can change the focal point too to make the background blurry too. So much fun. We're going to have to do a few... Yeah, look at how that automatically went into portrait mode. We're going to have to do a few lessons on this, you guys. That's pretty cool. You can't get into photography mode with drone mode. Oh. That's cool, eh? Ordinary Dodge or ordinary Doji. Yep. What's up with those ground textures? Does it seem grainy in game? No. Oh, is it grainy on stream? I mean, like right here? Right, so how do I get out of here? Probably B. Yep. And now I'm walking around again. There we go. But maybe not, because Grubius isn't there. So, yeah, that is walking. It makes you actually bounce up and down while you're walking. That's pretty cool. I'll just do an inspection of the plane. Oh, it won't let me go past the wing. Look at that. That's cool.
Nope. You can't walk into your own airplane.
That's great.
Other people can walk through it, but you can't.
Well, no, that's got ridiculous.
Well, like if that was the 172 and you wanted to check your main gear and you walked up, it would actually make you crouch because it won't let you walk into the wing.
So how do you crouch?
You know, the fun part is you can actually use the your controller to walk around.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to do right now. But I get past the wing. Wow, I'm running into other people's planes. That's what's happening.
Mike says it's the X button on the controller. And I think, is it the right trigger that makes you run?
C to crouch. Oh, I see. Got it. Oh, cool. Cool. Let's get to, when we finish the stream, you guys, let's get to the cliff. Take a picture of all of us standing at the cliff, because right now this is inland, right? All right, how do we get back in? Let's see. Probably X. No, oh, X is the crouch, yeah. I guess you just go to your plane and go to the door?
Yeah, or Shift C.
Just see, everybody says, okay.
Yeah, you have to either click on the door handle or Shift C.
Oops. Look at what Ace is doing. Ace is not sticking around the airport. You guys finally caught up? Sir Scott's running. He's actually running to his plane. How do you make it run? He's not walking. He's actually running. That's cool. Wow. Did a slow roll in the optical. Really, Nebo? A slow roll in the optica. That's cool. See what I mean? Ace? Look at the colors behind you on your plane. The reds are definitely part of the canyon, you know? I've got to see those reds. Yeah, those layers too. Yeah, yeah. R2 is for running. R2. 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 What's an R2? Right bumper? No. RB? And Nebo's telling you, Ace, that the Optica can do a slow roll. That one. So, what's up with those ground textures? Okay, does it seem grainy in game? It doesn't, no. But don't forget that we're also changing over to 2020. Right now, Ace is flying 2020 in the canyon, and then we're flying 2024 in the canyon. And you're also mentioning, I've just heard a lot of people talking about how when you get in the air, it starts to get a little grainy. Oh, okay. We weren't finding that, but
It's probably going to matter about how good your connection is with the servers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I have seen videos where of people flying like the 320 or the 310, and their instrument panel is perfect, and then they have a loss of a low connection speed, and all the labels go instant blurry.
Yeah.
So if your connection is hiccuped, your visual quality can drop.
So Scott, you're on a PS4 controller. That's why. Okay, I see. And on our Xbox controllers, we call it right trigger, which is the trigger button on the right, like we use for rudder. Cool. Well, I'd like to stick around and watch you guys walking all over the taxiways and the runways, but I gotta go. We gotta go fly.
I do hope when the marketplace goes live, we'll be able to download all of our planes locally.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd just rather have it on my system.
I thought that was something that they were looking at, but I'm not sure.
Oh, that's the taxiway. Okay, got turned around.
Also hope we'll be able to disable sceneries and things that we may have purchased from the marketplace but don't actually want anymore.
Yeah.
Because can't do that right now either.
I guess we're pretty much in the middle. I was going to say, which way should we take off from midfield? That is pretty cool, you guys. All you guys walking around. Let's go walk around the rim of the canyon. Let's get rolling and see where we end up. I'm going to take off in one of these areas. Do a short field takeoff. Can the Optica do a short field takeoff? Isn't that what it does all the time? Yeah, no problem at all. It's a performer. Let's get back on track. Right turn. We're heading back to the canyon, you guys. Everybody want to come join us? And then we'll eventually jump out of the plane and get some pictures of us all there. It really does look like this in real life. Look at that. And, you know, the interesting part is you can see elk and deer in the woods here. In real life, we saw a few times we saw them. Harder from a plane because you're moving so fast, but we saw them definitely when we were in the Humvees going down the road, and we saw them off to the sides. It was pretty cool. So that's something we'll look at again later too, is just go play and find some animals, you know, because there's supposed to be lots of them here. Yep, Southeast Asia for both 2020 and 24, you guys, for those of you who are flying in either sim. That's what we're doing today. Just checking it out. We're heading back to the canyon. We'll go right over the edge and drop off, right? But I'm in the air and nothing is grainy, but I can see it could be something to do with retrieving data from the cloud, yep. So thanks for your comments in YouTube, you guys. Say hello. Do the chat thing if you can. We're having a ball. And I know a lot of you were frustrated, so once it's running, you'll probably enjoy it. And it works on all kinds of hardware now, even the low-end systems, which is pretty cool. All right, let's go over to other screens. Here's Andrew. What a view.
Pete Apocalypse, they do Humvee tours of the Grand Canyon.
Yep, that's what we were on to, yeah. The hotels are there too, right? All right. In California, they saw Sasquatch, right? Yeah, Humvees, Pete. Yeah, we were in. There's all kinds of tourist stuff going on at Grand Canyon, of course. And in real life, we were in Humvees. We had like 3 or 4 lined up for us to take us. They were all open windows. We didn't realize how chilly it would be. We started out. I mean, we met in the lobby at 6:30 in the morning, and when we headed out, it was like, this is a cold one. Take a coat with you. Nobody warned us, right? We're thinking Grand Canyon, it's nice and hot. It's Arizona. It's the desert. It was freezing. We're all in the Humvee going, are we there yet? You know, it was fun.
You're like 5,000 feet up or whatever, aren't you?
Yeah. So make sure you trim it, you guys. Yeah. Yeah, I think Andrew's at 7. Nice view, Andrew.
Yeah, 71.
Yeah, this is the main road.
Oh, I'm talking about like when you're at the top of the canyon at ground level, I guess. It's like 5,000 feet of elevation or something, isn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
So if
They
you
get snow and stuff there.
if you follow this road right here, you guys, this is, oh, that's not the road. What is that? Oh, I see, the road's over here. You can see there's the Pacific Rim. You can see a lot of people are over there on the cliff already. So let's go join them and jump out of our plane and get a picture. It looks like all of them are stopped, so they're all out of the plane standing there probably. Let's go there. Even if can we pause the plane and jump out maybe? Or I guess we got to land somewhere. But this is the actual road right here. And that's a village right there. It's a Grand Canyon village where there's all kinds of stuff there too. We found the washrooms and fresh water and stuff like that. But if you follow this road like Nebo's doing, we saw, and we stopped a couple of times, we actually saw elk and other animals along the way, and it was pretty cool. Just right along this area here. You can see the cars down below there. Now I actually changed my setting to ultra, but I got to take it back because obviously you can see some jitter going on. See that? So I've got to change it back. So my system with this lower end card was set for high, but it wasn't set for ultra, and I thought I'd give it a shot, see what it looked like. And you can see my frames are kind of being affected by that. I just tried opening the door. It says you have to be on the ground. Hey, that's cool, Mike. It's like in real life. You can try to open the door, but the wind should keep it shut, right? I had a passenger once in real life in a 172. My passenger, they didn't close their door. Like they just kind of dainty. They just kind of close it. In a 172, you kind of, you got to smack it, right? So they didn't close their door right. And in flight, the door came ajar. And they freaked out. It's like, oh my God, like we're going to die. There, I just landed on the highway. Better get some power going here. Oof. I just landed all right. Look at that. Not realizing, because you can't hear the engine. Optica down, Optica down. You can't just reset it either, right? So I was talking away. I didn't realize that for some reason, my throttle was down because I was descending. But you know, when you can't hear your RPMs, you can't fly right. Yeah.
That car just had to go off the road to crash through you.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. I'm going to go look for some elk while I'm here. Got to be some elk around. Take a picture. Right, Paul? But watch out, you guys, when you're coming down the highway. I'm there.
I will say the road looks very good in the trees and everything but the upside down plane looks very
everything
good.
Except the upside down plane. Well, someone came in a helicopter coming to help me. That's great. Come help me. Your door is ajar. Your door is ajar. So they freaked out.
Well,
I
see,
mean, I was
there's your
telling you the
problem.
story, right? What?
That's your problem. Your door is ajar. It's supposed to be a door.
It's supposed to be a door. What's it doing being ajar, right? Hey, Lone Wolf, love your stream. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And
Delta, there is an option. I don't remember what menu it's in, but there's an option to turn on name tags. There's also a
online
bind that you may need to bind to something to make sure you can toggle it.
Mike's heading out to the rim. Find me along the way, Mike, will you? Come help me out. Anybody got the sky crane out? I need a sky crane. The trees were moving in the wind, but not now. In online, not in online. Model. Are you looking at that, Andrew?
Yeah.
Okay. And then slew mode. I think, Paul, you mentioned slew mode. What keystroke was it? It's all new. I'm going to have to do a summary of keystrokes that we need to learn, you guys. Because, it's all new. If I don't get moving, we'll never finish the flight plan. I'm right near Grand Canyon Village, so at least people can help me. able to pick up other simmers that are crashed or disabled. What? How do we do that?
I think he's saying it would be a cool option.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be cool. How about picking them up with a crane? Right? I flew the crane yesterday, guys, but my helicopter controls are not set properly yet. But I did fly it in the canyon. It was a bit rough. What's an idea? Yeah.
Paul, did you have tags earlier?
Said. I got people all around me. That's great. Thanks for your help, you guys. And I got
Okay.
Is it the gyrocopters? Who came in to help me here?
Yeah. Paul, go into your controls.
Rumples
And
with us? Yep, go ahead, Andrew.
do a
Sorry.
search for just do a search for name. That'll give you that'll show you where the toggled nameplates are. I forget what it's bound to on by default. It may not be bound to anything actually.
Look, Twiz is actually coming out of his helicopter and coming over to help me. Is that funny or what? Is that cool or what?
Now the unfortunate part is you can't push your airplane because he'll go right through it.
But it's interesting. His plane was moving around a bit too back there. That is cool. Thanks for helping me out. All right, that works. I'm going to go forward. I don't think this plane can go backwards. So yeah, thanks for stepping out of the way there. Hold on. Control brake, maybe? Yeah, can't seem to get it working though.
Okay. Yeah, I set it to backspace like it used to be, but I couldn't remember what it was by straight out of the box.
Oh, there I go. Sounds like I've got full volume. Yeah, nice landing. See what I got going here.
Yeah, and a word of warning, Paul. I think there may be a distance limit beyond which you won't see them. Because originally in 2020, it's like you could see them from way away, but once they got close, you couldn't see them. And I think they changed it so that if you're too far away, you don't see the tag until you get close enough.
There we go. I had to start my engine again. That's what it was. No wonder I wasn't moving. Okay. Thanks for your help, Twiz. I'm in. Bumpy road. Just hit a couple bumps and went flying. Yep. Jumped me right up into the air. Woo, doggy.
If that distance change makes it more reliable to see the people that are near you, I would say it's probably worth it. It's frustrating when you know
I will say
right
this.
next to someone, you can't see them, but you see somebody like 50 miles away.
Yeah. Well, I will say this much on Thursday when we were all wandering around on the ground at where was it, Buttonville?
Buttonville, yeah.
And I actually had Dr. No Thumb standing right in front of me at the two avatars. And other than the fact that his name tag was about the size of a regular highway billboard, so it was like I could see like a bottom part of an R and the bottom part of the D, but I could still see him, and he was literally right in front of me.
Cool.
And that's the other thing. If you get out of your plane and start wandering around as your avatar, you will actually see two tags, one for the avatar and one for the airplane.
Cool.
How we knew where Mike was the other day because his plane was in one place and his tag was in another.
You'll see one tag that says Mike over in where he's standing, and then a couple hundred yards away you'll see a plane.
Yeah.
So this is Grand Canyon Village, you guys. You can see houses down there. There's shops here. There's parking. There's all kinds of, a stopover before you go over the cliff. That's what it is. So I can see a lot of you are here probably walking around. So let's see if we can get a picture of some of us anyway outside our plane, if I can find a place to the park. Where did you guys actually come in? Go back some power here and just see. It's out by the rim here, so I'm just wondering where everybody parked. Oh, I see there's one down there on the highway. One of you parked over there. That looks like a nice open area right there. Okay. And then some of you are standing at the cliff. Okay, so I'm going to come around and get out of the plane and walk over to where you guys are. And we'll get a few of us anyway standing on the cliff look, you know, do a selfie with the canyon behind us. Let me just pick a spot here. Oh, there's a good one right there. That's what I thought. Okay. All right, I'm going to come in on the approach this way. My speed light. Oh, look at all the buses. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, for whatever reason, it does start you on the outside, but Shift C will put you in the cockpit.
I don't know where we would land, though. This is nuts.
And if you're really in a hurry, if you're in dev mode, you can go to debug aircraft and then chocks and covers, and it'll open a little menu where you can quickly just remove all the chocks and covers and everything from inside the plane.
Yeah.
So you guys,
so if you don't want to do the walk around every time,
if you want,
or
land,
you can just you just
go
give
for
up
the trees.
or just give up and go spawn on the end of the runway. Then it starts you in the plane.
Well, yeah, but if you still want to do like a cold and dark startup, but you don't want to go walking around the plane trying to find every little thing.
But like I say, I think once you spawn, if you do Control Shift C and go and get in the cockpit, I'm not 100% sure if it takes the chocks and stuff away.
It doesn't.
I drove me crazy the other day, but the easiest way I found, other than starting on the runway, is just start outside, look down, pick up the chalk, find your pitot cover, take that off, and then just hop in the airplane. Especially the Shift C is good because some of the third-party planes don't have click spots on their doors. So that is the only way to get into the airplane. But it is kind of funny to spawn next to spawn with like an airliner, and you spawn outside, standing next to the, and you're looking up at the cockpit. Yeah, well, Hermit, there's no reason you couldn't run both of them at the same time.
Aaron, I'm guessing one of those graphic settings probably affects whether or not you see the players walking around.
Yeah.
Hermit's running both sims at the same time on the same PC. Wow.
Poor computer.
Yeah, poor computer, yeah.
I've arrived at the destination. I am circling Hermit.
Mamma mia. What happens when you got a fast plane?
Yeah, the problem, Aaron, is there's like 4 or 5 of them, and I'm not sure which one is the one that affects that.
Look at all the buses. So where are you guys? Let me see if I can find you guys while I'm walking on the ground. That's the hard part, you guys. When you're on the ground, it won't show on little that map either where we are. There's another Optica right there. That's MP Stacks. There's Krabby. So this must be the edge of the rim. Right here. There's a Draco up there too.
Yeah, I don't know if there's something that actually does that or not, because I don't think we did anything. Mm-hmm. I know in advanced options in general, there's a allow third person view camera that you can check or uncheck, but under experimental. But I don't know if that does any.
Did you check
difference
that?
I have it checked, but I don't know if that makes any difference or not. I had it checked the other night too, but I just...
Aha.
Because I have to say that the little bit of time I've been in 2024, I haven't seen anyone walking around either, but I really haven't gone.
Look, you guys. Look at this. So. Is this cool or what? I found the crowd. Some of us are kind of floating, but anyway, what a view. You guys found a great spot to be in right there. So I'm going to be the one taking the picture. So I'm going to have to.
And that's
I don't know
the
why
funny
you're
part
floating
is,
though, right?
is if this was 2020, I'd say, oh, well, you guys don't have scenery.
Right.
But we all have the same scenery.
Yeah. So come on together, you guys, and we'll take a picture with this behind it. Oh, I see. You guys just parked over here. Why didn't I just park where you guys were parked, right? Here comes Rumpel. How close did you guys make your avatars? Because I think I just picked a generic or something, right? Look at that.
Apocalypse.
I don't get the floating part, though, you guys. I guess you're way out on the cliff, maybe.
Apocalypse. Aaron Priest does. Panel man.
I'm assuming he actually means Stream Deck as opposed to Steam Deck.
Oh, did he say Steam Deck?
Yeah.
Steam Deck.
Oh,
Okay.
I have no idea about the Steam Deck.
What's a Steam Deck?
Stream Deck.
Maybe it's a
They're
spelling.
starting to. X's and O's released an update that allows for it, and it's starting to become possible.
Wow, while I'm walking, I don't have a mouse. Is that right?
Yeah, MP Stacks, I think that's just a model matching thing. It works. It doesn't work even with avatars.
Right trigger, Paul.
Paul, if you're using a controller, the right trigger does the run.
Yeah, I'm trying to do a picture, you guys. How am I supposed to do a picture? I guess Here we go. Ah, so as soon as I take a picture, it gets rid of all the walkers. Yeah.
Screenshot?
Yeah.
Screenshot.
No,
man.
I mean the built-in photography stuff, right?
Yeah.
And somehow I gotta get out of it.
Screenshot.
Oh, resume. I went to, I've taken a picture now, but I've lost all the walkers. How do I get out of here? Not escape. Wow, that's frustrating not to know all the keystrokes, you guys. Andrew
Maybe
there.
jump back in your plane and back out. I don't know.
I guess so. No, but I got to walk all the way back to the plane. And then everybody's
C
on the
will
cliff, and I wanted to take a picture, but I couldn't take a picture.
Yeah, Shift C will put you back in the plane from wherever you are.
Well, I don't want to do that. I just want to see the people again. So as soon as I took a picture like this, everybody disappeared. It won't show the people. The photography mode.
Yeah.
So then once I click both bumpers again to get out of it, the people still aren't there. I want to take a picture of the people. There's no people. Arr. So certainly looks good though. How do I get the people back? Charles Farmer!
Hey, Charles.
36 months, my friend. Wow.
Are you ready? Giving warning this time.
No, don't say that. No. It's okay. You don't have to do that.
No. That's what he says.
Oh, okay. Hey, oh, there it is. I got the people back. Okay, quick. Now, I didn't have a mouse, so how do you take a picture, you guys? There's what I want to know. Without my mouse to take a screenshot, what can I possibly do? I can try this, but... Charles Farmer!
And there it is.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Look at this guy go.
He did
Holy moly.
warn.
He did warn. Does he have a money tree, right? I think he found more
I'm
change in the sofa,
I'm starting to
right?
think, yeah.
I don't think he has just quarters and stuff in the sofa. I think he has like $100 coins. I mean, look at it. Yeah, I can't use the snipping tool, Twiz. I have no mouse. Well, I'm looking in this mode. My mouse doesn't work on my system. That is interesting, isn't it? So I just hit print screen. Let's hope that works. I still won't know until I'm out of this mode. But look at this. Is this cool or what? Now I should probably, because I'm walking, I can't go any higher than that. So I guess I get to the edge as much as possible, right? Yes. It's kind of funny though, because some of us are floating, right? Yeah.
Photo mode toggle is Shift V.
Yeah, but then the people disappear. Yeah. I'm not doing that again. Yeah. Charles Farmer, legend. Yeah, everybody thank him for these subs, you guys. I mean, look at the generosity here, right? So far, that's like Noise Boy Mike and Charles Farmer have both been very generous, you guys. 10 subs is a lot of money. And that goes to the stream, and it helps to cover the cost so that we can keep bringing this to you. And I really appreciate it. it just keeps it from being a financial burden for me, which is great in my retirement. The new 2024, but kind of missed the 2020 as I know how to get around and set things up. Yeah, Charles Farmer, you're absolutely right. And when we have new things like this, all right, everybody who's on my screen right now. Oh, sorry. Everybody who's on my screen right now. Yeah, I got it. I want you to all do some breakdancing. Okay, right? So I think you hit, what is it to crouch down again? Yeah, I think maybe he used drone for that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think he was just using. I think he was just doing it with screenshots, regular screenshots.
Look at everybody moving around.
Still better than that Australian breakdancer in the Olympics.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I had a. Here, we'll just play a house band interlude. So let's do that. All right, breakdance time. I can't find breakdance music. Careful, do not fall off. Can you fall off? Maybe. This has got to get clipped, you guys. Well, let's get animated. How do you get animated? Rumple's going down the cliff. I think he's down. Rumple down, rumple down. Okay, so you guys can get a screenshot. I'm going to just take our arm bugs out of the picture. There we go. Take your pictures. No, super time. Yeah, it should be full stop by now, but no, we're supposed to keep going from here, but it's right around that time where we're going to have to stop, yeah. Yeah, Charles Farmer, I'm the same way. My helicopters are not doing well. It's funny. Murph invented a dance. Okay, cool. The destination is?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Some of us finished the thing.
Some of us did stop halfway through there.
Yeah. Oh, I stopped through the crash.
Yeah, see you, Paul. Yeah, I think you're right. Even with it's still got its issues, but they're working on it. And when they get them all figured out, this is going to be spectacular. I mean, it already is. And I have a brand new machine to hook up, get set up, and whatnot. But I'm overly impressed with what I've got right now with my old stuff. So
have a safe drive. Yeah, thanks, Paul. Hope to see you Tuesday. Yep, I hope to be online Tuesday, you guys. That's the next stream, and I'll be in Florida then. So I got a 2-day drive ahead of me, 30 hours. So I'll be on the road again.
You doing a stream on Thanksgiving? American Thanksgiving?
American Thanksgiving is when? Thursday? Thursday. Sure, why not? Why not?
I might be able to make it because I think my family's doing Thanksgiving on Friday.
So let's see what happens when you walk over the edge. Yep, you definitely fall, but you're still walking. Okay. Okay. All right. If I turn around and look up, it's like,
you couldn't help yourself.
Can I go back up? You can climb up. Okay. Oof. Wow, that was pretty psychedelic. You don't even need drugs. That was neat. What a view, you guys. What a view.
We definitely need to do a group hike where we all fly
hike.
in.
Yeah, we'll do a group hike.
We all fly into Everest Base Camp and then climb Everest.
Yeah. Lemmings unite, Twiz.
It'd be an awful long, probably be an awful long stream though.
Right?
Jump. How did we jump again? Was it jump you could do? If you can jump. But I don't think I should encourage jumping off the cliff. Even, you guys, when we did the Hummer, the whole Hummer thing first, the drivers of the Hummer got nervous because a lot of us were on the edge like this. Not me. I can't stand on the edge like that. Look, here comes Wolf back up again. And look at he's way down there. And there's somebody was way over here. Russell's way over on the cliff over there. Look. You could actually take your helicopter and get out and just walk around like that. We got to start doing more of this in all parts of the world, not just here. I don't think it would be that easy to casually walk back up. But those guys were getting nervous, you guys. The people who drive these Hummers, who see this all the time, every day, this is what they do. They drive tourists to the edge and they take pictures and they help them with their selfies and they do all. They were nervous. And I said to them, like, is it normal for tourists to stand on the edge? They said, no. Most people don't sit on that. And there was gravel on the edge too. So people were actually sitting there and they said, people do slip. And they said, it doesn't happen every year, but it does happen. And can you imagine? You slip, you fall, you're dead. That's it. It actually happens.
There's no stopping until you hit the water at the bottom.
All for the sake of a selfie is like, I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to come away from the edge there. I didn't feel as bad this time as I did in real life being near the edge, because you just know it's just around the corner. But thanks for participating in that, you guys. I'm going to walk back to my plane now. And I think that's all we're going to do. I mean, Ace made it to the destination, but we would take another hour to get there, or maybe even an hour and a half. And typically we finish around this time, you guys. I do have a lot to do. I've got to now tear this whole studio apart. I got to take the main parts with me anyway to Florida, pack the car and close the house and all that stuff. So this is a very interesting looking plane, this one here, the M24 Orion. Look at this thing. Is that cool or what? Little pusher.
Oh, the auto gyro.
Auto gyro. Look at this baby. Hey, that looks like that would be great for exploring around here, wouldn't it? I'll be getting ready to join you next Saturday to fly with you all. Okay, Charles Farmer, that'd be great. And thanks for coming on stream. You don't have to give us subs every time. We certainly appreciate it. You've certainly earned the VIP status and certainly a generous person, so thank you very much for that. Meyer says, good luck getting all that done, Howard, and have a nice drive to Florida. Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you. The paraglider would be fun too. Yeah. DNH, there's so many possibilities here that I think our Saturday group flies are never going to be boring again. I don't know if they ever were boring, but there's so much possibility now. Look at these guys were all smart. They all parked up here. I tried to park back in the village and it was disastrous. That's Rumpel getting fired up there. Look at him. He's gonna go. It's gonna blow. Thanks for the photo, you guys. I'm hoping it's in my print screen. I'm gonna go take a look after where I get back in the plane. Thanks for the safe travels, you guys. Think of me on the road. I head out at midnight tonight, which is right now it's noon. So 12 hours from now I leave, because it's the best time to go across the border. There's not big, huge lineups. And we drive all night and all day and all night and all day. And we stop over at a motel one night, tomorrow night. Boy, does that ever sound realistic?
Gotta pair this up with the camp out utility.
Yeah, I'm sure Parallel 42 is already working it. If not already ready.
They are.
And we'll certainly do it, you guys. One of our Saturday streams will be a camp out. It might even be next Saturday. Let's just do it.
I was looking at Parallel 42's 2024 stuff, and apparently the only thing that will not work in 2024 is the base flow.
Yeah, they're
Flow Essentials, Flow Essentials, and Flow Pro. They will get updated to for 2024, but the freeware version won't.
That bar at the top of your screen, is that from Say Intentions?
Yes, it is. That's You should. Howard should have sent you the link for that. That's the affiliate bar.
Right, I did. I sent it to both of you, right?
Yep.
Yep, and I should install it too, you guys. I'm just hand over fist trying to keep up
Maybe
with
I
everything that's
missed
going on here, right?
Maybe I missed a memo on that.
That's funny. Hermit says,
I don't
yeah, I really
recall
don't
seeing
miss those
anything.
1,500-mile drives to Florida, but have a great journey. Well, we're staying for the winter, so it's worth it, you know? If it were, I mean, I remember the time we did it for a week. We drove down for a week. We said, that's crazy. You know, it's a long way to go, a lot of work, and it's a long drive, you guys. And we did try flying the one time. We left the car there and flew, but we found out our insurance ran out after 8 months. If your car's out of the country, it goes for USA coming to Canada too. If your car's out of the country for more than 8 months, the insurance is void. And we drove we flew back in the fall, and we left our car in the driveway. We flew back in the fall. We drove all winter long, and then we found out that, and we flew back home, and we found out that the whole winter we weren't covered by insurance. I mean, can you imagine if we'd gotten in an accident? And it was like, surprise, you wouldn't have been covered. So now we're driving again, which I really don't like. So probably plate the car or buy a car, or like we always buy used cars. I keep them running. We'll buy some beater and we'll put it in the driveway with Florida plates on it, and we'll leave that there, and that way it's good. It stays in the country, right? And that's probably the solution.
And then you can just fly down. So it takes you an hour and a half or 2 hours instead of
it's
2
well,
days.
it's 2.5 hours, and 2 hours and 20, and we get there, take an Uber to the house, and now we've got a car. I mean, I think that's the plan, and that's what a lot of Canadians figured out long ago, and I finally figured out now. You know, I should talk more to them. Watch out for those patriotically political badgers. Wow, that's a mouthful, Super Ty. Yeah. No such thing, you guys. We just go straight to Florida and enjoy the warmth. Yeah. And lots of fun. Anyway, good picture on yours, Andrew. I'm now back in my plane, but I'm going to leave it parked here. Let's just go have a quick look around at those who are streaming to me. First of all, I'm going over to Mike. Let's see how he's doing over here. What a view, Mike. What a view. And you notice those POIs, you guys? Mike, if you press the... On your Alpha, it could even be your left white button, maybe? You can toggle the POIs, you guys. Let me just try it on mine again. Yep, that's what it is. It's my... And I didn't map it on my left handle of my Alpha. Right up by the hat switch, there's a little white button. And when I click it, I can toggle the POIs. This is a really nice feature, especially like here at the Canyon, there's a ton of them, right? There's a lot of those POIs of places you want to see. Here, I'll just show you guys on my screen too. Mike's got some great views there. Look at that. Oh, look at the grass moving. Wow, that's cool, Mike. All right, see those POIs. Mike, you got an Alpha, don't you? Or if you don't have the Alpha, then I wouldn't know how you toggle it. I don't know the toggle key, but... Yeah, Hermit, Canadian, that's one of the reasons we didn't in the first place.
It's not any better.
Insurance in Florida, yeah.
It's not much better here.
A lot of them sold out. No, it's really worse in Florida, Andrew, because a lot of them sold out. There's only 4 insurance companies left in the state, and they're just gouging now. My house insurance is up 40% in 2 years, and my car I haven't got car insurance there, but my friends have said it's up over 150%. So yeah, it's nuts. I mean, this winter we're going to do a reassessment of whether we can really afford to keep doing this. But anyway, we'll enjoy the sun while we're there. So if you come over, look at that shot. Look at that, Mike. Take a picture of that. Put that up on Discord. That looks great. But let me just show this one last thing here. Here I am on my screen in 2024. If I press that left white button on my Alpha, which I didn't map, it's just there automatically, I can turn off the POIs. This is wonderful, you guys, because you don't have to go into general and settings. And this way, when I go to take I can also toggle with backspace, I think it is. Nope. I can toggle the name tags too. Maybe I have to add that one. But the point is that when I take videos, and I do record a lot of videos, I have to go in and turn off POIs. I have to go in and turn off name tags and make it more realistic. And I got to tinker around with settings to do that, or map something. And it's already mapped in here. It's like, yeah, baby, that's so good. I like that. That's a nice feature. On your Boeing, your right trigger will remove the POI or bring them back up, which is nice. Okay, Charles, is that something you mapped? Yeah. And it's your camera reset for you, Mike, yeah. Oh, you redid the mappings for that. I see what you've done, Mike. Okay, that's cool.
Well, the funny part is if I go to my alpha controls and hit the button, on mine it comes up as toggle smart camera.
I'm on your screen, but oh,
Like the one that normal,
oh, I see
the one
the
that
the button I'm talking about. Yeah. Huh.
Oh, never mind. Hang on, I'm looking at the wrong button, I think.
And Charles says it
Toggle
was there
visual
automatic.
assistance.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's the white button on the top, not the front white button. Yeah, no, that's button number 2. That's toggle visual assistance display. How's that for a word?
Wow. I set mine to cockpit view upper, but it also does POIs on and off. Oh, cool, Charles. Yeah. Cessna C400 Corvallis TT in 2024 is a nice plane. Okay, man, we're going to have to check it out. We got so much to check out, so many planes, so little time. How are we going to do it all, right? Say that 3 times fast, Andrew.
No, thanks. It's
Come
hard enough
on,
saying
Andrew,
it
do
once. It's hard enough reading it once, let alone trying to say it again.
I want to give everybody just an idea where we went, what we did, and then we'll have to go to credits and we'll finish the streams. We are dual streaming on YouTube and on Twitch just to see how that works. And hopefully that's a good thing, or people will want that. Let me just show you guys on my screen now. Back to here. This is where we were. I'm going to close a few of these things here so that we have a bigger map. There we go. We're sitting right here in Grand Canyon Village, where we were for real in the preview event back in October. And we were supposed to continue on, which Ace did, and he continued on, and he ended up at the end of the flight plan. If we had done the whole thing in a normal, decent flying plane, we would have been done the whole thing in 2 hours. Ace went all this way and landed somewhere. Holy moly, look how much more we had to go. He landed over at Grand Canyon West, which the canyon becomes less and less, and as you can see, it's finally into the water area. I think maybe even next Saturday we'll start from the village and head out from there, and enjoy the sights, right?
That little kink that was on the right hand side there, before going over to Ace, where it comes down vertically and then it goes horizontal over to where the destination is.
Right.
That's about where I've managed to get.
Right. Yeah, and I intentionally did that, you guys. We're following the canyon through here. And then we went over to the airport, back to the Grand Canyon Village, and then from there we were going to go back over the cliff and back, keep going. But that was quite a trip so
far. Some of it does and some of it doesn't. I forget right off the top of my head which one does and which one doesn't, but I think the hub does.
Does NavGraph work?
Something else, one of the other parts doesn't right off the top of the head. So,
well, my NavGraph did, yeah. What are you talking about, Andrew? Which part doesn't work?
No, yeah, he's saying that does NavGraph work okay? Some of it does, some of it doesn't.
NavGraph, right? Yeah, I'm in little map, right? Sorry.
Yeah. No, NavGraph. I forget which part of it doesn't work properly with it, but
mapping is better. Yeah, and Ace has said the same thing, Charles. As he's working with it, he's finding he likes it better. It takes a while to get into it, and we can do I think Tuesday really should just be learn the basic settings and the top 10 keystrokes to know. I think I should come together with something to do with the new sim. I was going to go into some flying technique or something like crosswinds, but I think we'll just do something to do with the new sim, the most common things we need to know or do. So give me your suggestions in Discord. I think we have an FS 2024 section in there. There's VIP in the powered chute, but it's in the down position in multiplayer. But on his screen, he looks great. I just want to come over to Ace's screen, you guys, and just show you he's landed at the airport. He was flying 2020 the whole time. He was very patient enough to give us that look of how does it look in 2020, and then while we're flying in 2024. And that way it accommodated everybody who wanted to fly in either sim. So it was really nice of you to do that, Ace. And you got some great visuals and some gorgeous scenery still in our old sim.
So for NavGraph, the avionics plugins is compatible, charts is compatible, hub is compatible, SimBrief dispatch is compatible, SimLink is compatible, Flight pan expert, they're still looking at it, and there are some compatibility issues with the nav data, but they're working on that.
And Noisy Boy Mike says, as you see on the screen, you guys, if anybody needs to go to the restroom, as they call it in the USA, if you need to rest, then before departure, he found them. Now go to any other country and say, where's the restrooms? And they say, why are you tired? It's an expression. And you know, from living in the US in 6 months of the year, you guys, I learned what that really means. As you drive down the highway, rest areas is what they call them, where you can pull over and nap or park your car or even use washrooms. And that's, you know, it's a rest area, and in there they have washrooms, so they call them rest rooms. That's where the expression came from. And it's very common for our US friends to say that expression. But anywhere else in the world, like you go to UK, they're simply called what they really are. They're called the toilet. Where's the toilet? Well, you mean a bunch of them that are inside that building? You know, so, you know, that's a very common word. In Canada, we call them washrooms, bathrooms. We don't usually use the word toilet. That usually means the actual porcelain chair. But, you know, it's interesting, different parts of the world, right? But Mike found the restrooms, everybody, because
And
Grand Canyon is in the USA, yeah.
And he found the bookstore, too.
He found the bookstore. Well, look at this. Look at the map on the wall. Look at the detail of the thing. The hike house. He's at the hike house. Is that cool or what, you guys? We could learn stuff here without ever going there, you know? This is amazing. What a great place to launch the sim. All that marketing, you guys, right down the drain on first day of the sim, you know? Water closets. Well, yeah, I think that's a UK expression. How about Arthur Murray's? Anybody UK that's tuned in right now? Arthur Murray? Huh? Arthur Murray? I'll give you a hint. Oh, VIP's coming over to my plane. Are you there, Howard? Come on, let's go for beers. Oh, sorry, you guys are not seeing my screen. Look, he's approaching my plane cautiously. First he was here, then he's over there. He goes, I don't know if I should get near Howard's plane. I think it's still running. And then Mike's over here looking around the place. It's actually cool. The website on that sign works. The hike house. Yeah.
Yep.
DNH says, my plane flew away from me. He's wandering around looking for it. The loo.
Yeah, Mike did that on Thursday. Mike did that on Thursday. Forgot to set his parking brake.
And look what he's
finding.
And his plane
drove away.
This is default scenery. We have added nothing. Look at this. This is Mike in MSFS 2024 looking around at, this is the Grand Canyon Village at the southern rim, you guys. That's where we are, just like we were in real life back in October. And look what he's looking at. Holy smokes, you can learn stuff without ever being there, right? That is so cool. So water closets, my wife still says the loo. You know, every time she says I'm heading to the loo, I go skip to the loo. And you know, it's like all these different names that we use, right? But Arthur Murray, you guys, Arthur Murray, I'll give you guys a hint. It's for men only. And you walk in and it's just 2 footprints on the concrete and a hole in the floor. There you go. That's it. I didn't think it was, I'd heard a rumor, but when we started visiting in the UK, it was like, they really are true. And Arthur Murray was a dance instructor. I mean, there's Arthur Murray studios everywhere to learn to ballroom dance and all that. And Arthur Murray, because it's showing the steps on the floor, just like in the diagrams to learn how to dance, it shows footprints on the floor. So they call it the Arthur Murray. Is that cool, right? Isn't that funny? It's funny. Hey, that was in Okinawa. Also, you learned how to aim. Oh, really? And who invented the toilet? I'm afraid to ask, Krabby. It's not the nicest topic, you know what I mean? Who invented the toilet? Can it be said on a family-friendly channel? I don't know. Was it Thomas Crapper? Am I right? I think it was Thomas Crapper. Yeah. See? Chili Beans knows. Chili Beans. Hey, was it really? Or was that just a joke too? Pretty cool. Mike, that's cool. Mike's back in his plane now. He's over where the buses are. There's so much to learn. Oh, William Crapper. Okay. I was thinking about his brother. Yeah. Yeah, and welcome to SP. Yeah, thanks for coming. First time chat. Thanks for saying hello. You guys, it's been a blast. We just, we just don't want to leave, right? We just want to keep going. You guys can keep on going. We're going to probably go over to, I think Can Do is running, and he gave us the honor of dropping in the channel saying hi. So I think we should also do the favor and just let's go raid him if he's still running.
Allison is also flying. So is Scruffy Tam.
Scruffy, we know all these people. It's like, which one do we go to next? Go to your favorite after this, you guys. But we are going to raid Can Do, I think, right? He's running now too, right? So we'll have lots of. I mean, Mike, yeah, it's limitless. We could stream every day of the week for 8 hours, and we still wouldn't cover it all.
You mean like Mr. Murphy?
Is Murph doing that every day now?
He streamed every day this week.
See, I can see why. You guys.
Somewhere around 10 to 12 hours.
And you guys,
every day.
That's how you build your community. Also, if Murph gets 1,000 followers, he deserves it. So because he's putting in the hours, you guys. I wish I could do that. I'm, doing all the things that I'm doing. It's just like, this is the time when I'm supposed to already be further south, and then we're scrambling to make that happen. And right now, as soon as I go off the air, I'm starting to unplug things left and right. So I've got a full day ahead of me of packing up the house and getting down the road, right? Yeah, it is a long time. We're used to seeing that with some of the streamers have done that. Like Allison does 9-hour flights easily. Super Ty's a moderator on that channel also. And you guys, I don't know how they do that. We've done endurance runs before, but those are hard when you're a streamer. But way to go, Good to see everyone coming back. Yeah, it's cool. And Charles Farmer, thanks for your generosity. Mike Audio, thanks for your generosity. Noise Boy Mike Audio, yeah. And Ace, thanks for being on 2020. I'm sure by next Saturday you'll be with 2024.
That is the plan, yeah.
That's the plan, yeah. We'll see how it goes. And Andrew, on your screen, you're still flying. You just can't get enough of that Grand Canyon.
Well, I just figured I'd let it get. It's on autopilot. I just let it go. So how far we get. How far we get. Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't even test autopilot, you guys. I should have left it on autopilot. I wouldn't have crashed. I crashed twice trying to mess around. You know what I mean? And just now you mod for Scruffy Tam. Hey, you're so good at it, Super Ty, and you touch bases. You get to know what's going on in the community. It's really wild what you do, and we're very fortunate to have you on our stream too. So thanks for all you do. All of the moderators and co-hosts, thank you very much.
That's good to hear, Chill Beams. That thing after the patch smooth things out for you.
Yeah, that's
good.
Great. All right, as we go to credits, we'll set it up so we can go and see how it's going with Can Do. Hang in there with us, you guys. If you'd like to stay there at the Grand Canyon and fly around, I'm sure a lot of you will be hanging out together. That'll be a lot of fun. And we shall see you guys further south. Have a good one. Thanks a bunch, Ace.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks a bunch, Andrew.
Hey, no problem.
See you later, guys. Take care, everyone.